Telling you.
Hello.
Nothing beats a bud.
So Rob says to me, what do you mean you're trading in your old truck for a new one? What's his name?
Danny Fast?
It's the guy. What a truck. Fully loaded, a beautiful custom interior. And would you believe it rides like a car? Good old, what's his name?
Danny Fast.
Right, and he made me an offer I couldn't refuse. Don't that sound like that actor? What's his name?
Danny Fast?
Hey, what are you, some kind of nut?
Danny Fast's Aloha Chevrolet Geo Mazda.
Now catch all those dazzling plays, even from the bleachers. Introducing the Panasonic camcorder with the 30-to-1 zoom lens. Ordinary camcorders zoom to here, some to here. But our new 30-to-1 zooms in to here. So you can catch all those thrilling moments, even from the other side of the field. Get the 30-to-1 Panasonic camcorder.
That's my boy.
That was Jay calling from Honolulu.
How's the wedding going?
Pretty good. He says the pagoda can put us next to Auntie Betty folks. They even got us a car, too.
All right.
And Jay wants us to sing Ku'uipo at the reception.
I don't know. It's been a long time.
That's why practice starts right after dinner.
The Pagoda Hotel, bringing island families together.
The whole world will be watching Sylvester Stallone in Rocky IV, Tuesday at 8:05 on KHNL 13.
Welcome back, everyone. Jim Leahy along with Pal Eldridge. About to get underway. The third game of this three-game series between Washington and the Rainbows of Hawaii. Washington winning the first game in the opener on Friday night, 8-5. The Rainbows coming back in the bottom half of the ninth inning, a two-run base hit by Darren Moreland to take a 6-5 victory over the Huskies. So they square off again today on Sunday for the rubber game to decide the winner in this three-game series. And the Rainbows going with Billy Blanchette. Billy, a player that is developing into a man for all reasons for the Rainbows. He plays first base. He also plays the outfield. He is the designated hitter on occasions, and now he's the starting pitcher. This is the way the Rainbows will line up. Takayoshi will do the catching. John Viella at first base. Chris Duggar getting his first start of the season. He's at second base. He has appeared there briefly in the series. Steve Otani at shortstop. John Craven back at third base. He had the start on Friday night. Kenny Harrison is in left field. I said John Craven. I should say Scott Craven. Kenny Harrison is in left field. Darren Moreland in center field. And Dwayne Daughtry in right field for the Bows. Looking at the starting pitcher, Billy Blanchette, 5'11" junior out of Honolulu, went to Punahou, started his college career at Pepperdine, and then transferred back to the University of Hawaii. He has been used as a pitcher sparingly, to say the least. He's pitched only 5 innings. He is 0-1 with an earned run average of 5.40. So Billy B getting a start for the first time in 1991. He was used as a reliever. This, I believe, is his first start.
Yes, it is. He has pitched more this year than he has in previous years. Of course, he was one of the better pitchers in the state as a high school senior.
You're looking at the batting order for the University of Washington. Kevin Stocker will lead it off. Then Darren Doty in left field. Brent Lutz is the designated hitter today. Started the first 2 games as the Huskies catcher. David Noakes, outstanding series. He is in right field. Darryl Cloud at first base. Todd Turner at third base. John Burke in center field. Batting 8th is Eric Johnson getting his first start behind the plate. He's the catcher. Mike Wood at second base will bat 9th. The umpires, Greg Poole behind the plate, Mike Evans at first base, and Nelson Valdez at third base. So Kevin Stocker batting 200 for the series, now 2 for 10. Last night he was 0 for 4. He was hit by a pitch. He is a junior from Spokane, Washington, ready to face Billy Blanchette. The question here is, Billy really doesn't have that much experience as a starting pitcher. First pitch gets there for a strike.
No, he really hasn't started. He's been getting his share of innings in practice games and in the alumni game, but not as a starter, as you mentioned. The things to watch for with Billy is that he's always around the plate. Got pretty good curveball.
Breaking ball that really fights Otani. Otani is able to cringingly get control of the ball and then throw to first base. That flight of the ball really confused the Rainbow shortstop that time, and Steve had to adjust with it. It comes out, watch this bounce. He starts to go toward his right. He has to stop, come back toward his left. He's able to glove it before it gets by him into the outfield, and a good throw gets Stocker.
Well, last night we saw Otani make an outstanding play at shortstop, and that time, you're right, he did start to his right, maybe because of the curve of the ball.
Darren Doty sends a fly ball to short right center field. Coming on is Dwayne Daughtry, and quickly they're 2 down in the top half of the first inning.
Well, in addition to being always around the plate, one of the things you'll see Blanchette do is he'll use his changeup, and he'll use it a lot. Maybe not through the first couple of innings trying to get through the lineup one time without using it, but he'll often lead off a batter with the changeup, and it's very difficult to see him throw it as a batter.
Brent Lutz will step in here with 2 down. Lutz from Issaquah, Washington. And the first pitch by Blanchette gets there on the corner. 0-1. Lutz 3 for 9 in the series, batting .333. Last night he was 1 for 4 with a walk. That's on the facade.
That's the facade.
And not the roof. So glad to be with you wherever you may be. This, in the words of advertiser sports writer Ferd Borsch, is baseball at a civilized hour.
In civilized uniform.
Yes. He loves daylight baseball. Pitch to Lutz up high, and the count 1-2. 2 outs in the top half of the first inning. The wind, again, non-existent. It has played a very fickle game with the flagpoles here. That ball is hit to left field. Waiting for it is Kenny Harrison. And he makes the catch to retire the side. So Washington goes in order in the top half of the first inning. We've played 1/2 an inning, and the Rainbows are getting ready.
There's a new kind of cowboy out there. And that's why McDonald's is grilling up a whole new kind of steak, topped with onions, mushrooms, and a hearty steak sauce on a sourdough roll with a side of fries. And right now, it's a great McDonald's value you can't pass up. McDonald's new grilled steak sandwich. A new kind of steak for a new kind of cowboy.
The right place to get the right part for your car is as close as your neighborhood CarQuest store. At CarQuest, we're very proud of the people we have working the counter for you. Our people proudly wear the CarQuest Counter Pro Shield to signify that they're qualified to give you expert advice. Our Counter Pros make CarQuest the right place to get the right parts. We work hard every day so you can lie around on the weekends.
You'll find it at CarQuest.
Welcome back as we move to the bottom half of the first inning. This is the way that the Huskies of Washington will line up. Eric Johnson getting the first start. He is the catcher. Darrell Cloud at first base. Mike Wood getting his first start at second base. Kevin Stocker at shortstop. Todd Turner at third. The outfield, Darren Doty, John Burke, and Dave Noakes. That outfield has remained steady throughout the series. Rick Anderson getting the start, 6'3" junior from Salem, Oregon. So Anderson, the right-hander, taking his warm-up throws for the University of Washington. The Rainbows batting order, Dwayne Daughtry will lead it off. Levon Largusa, the designated hitter, will bat second. Todd Takayoshi, the Rainbow catcher, will hit third here in the bottom of the first inning. Then John Viella, Kenny Harrison, Darren Moreland, Chris Duggar, Steve Otani, and Scott Craven. Head coach for Washington is Bob McDonald in his 15th year, 355 wins, 356 wins now, I should say. 479 losses and 7 ties. And for the Rainbows, Les Murakami in his 21st year, there he is. 738 wins, 332 losses, and 4 ties. I don't even know why they list the ties.
You know, regarding the catcher, Johnson, you know, he caught in the JV game yesterday, Jim. Now, you notice he's got a long sleeve undershirt on, and it's pretty warm out there. You mentioned in the opening about it being humid. Now, he also wears an elbow brace on his right arm, his throwing arm, because he hyperextended his elbow, wasn't able to play last year or in the summer. And it's a weird-looking brace because not only does it cover his elbow, but he's got two straps on the crack of his elbow so that it won't hyperextend. So I think one of the reasons is he doesn't want to let the other team know he's got it on.
Oh, I see. Dwayne Daughtry leads it off for the Bows. And the first pitch to the Rainbow right fielder, a bunt wide at first, charging his Cloud. He flips to Anderson, close call, and they get him at first base. So Daughtry really gave it a run up the line, and credit Washington, credit Cloud and Anderson.
Well, what really made this play was that the pitcher, Anderson, got over there in a hurry. It's really tough because it would be a foot race, obviously, between him and Daughtry, and Daughtry can run.
That'll bring up Levon Largusa. Largusa appeared for the first time as a pinch hitter in last night's game. And he is DHing today for the Rainbows. One ball and no strikes to it. Anderson from Salem, Oregon gets the pitch over on the inside. Anderson is planning to major in electrical engineering. He was an academic all-star, enjoys basketball and football in his spare time. Two and one, the count to Largusa. Rainbows, the coaching staff hoping that Largusa mends so that he can contribute to the pitching staff. But he is also a very solid hitter, and he can play other positions. The 2-1 pitch. 3 balls and 1 strike to Levon Largusa. Left-hander against the right-hander here with 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. Anderson's pitch is down low, ball 4. First walk given up by Anderson, and the Rainbows have their first base runner here in the Sunday afternoon game. That'll bring up Todd Takayoshi, Rainbow catcher, with Largusa on at first base. Takayoshi having a very, very solid series. Last night he was 3 for 4 with 1 RBI. He stole his first base of the season, and he scored 2 runs. So he is really contributing, and we're only into the 3rd game of the season. Takayoshi is from Seattle, Washington. He was talking with his high school teammate, Dave Noakes, in right field. They both went to Kennedy High School in Seattle. Noakes was showing us his strawberry on his elbow, and he caught that sliding into second base. He said the cinders here are brutal. And they are.
Well, what they do is they do screen it so that, you know, it's the fine stuff that they put down there. He ought to be at one of the parks around here that aren't that have the screen, the unscreened cinder. It really is brutal.
They have such a thing as unscreened cinder?
Yeah. Yeah, they do. This is 1/8-inch Molokai cinder. It's from Maui. No, but what they do underneath is they screen it. They take all the
oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Is it really from Maui?
No, it's from Molokai. And then really they screen it and they take the stuff, the fine stuff, and that's what they put on.
That's the cinder right there, yes.
Well, there is a pile of it right by the TV truck.
Now that's, you know, that's fresh because of the rains that came in early this morning, and the tarp was out. And I asked members of the ground crew, I said, "Does the tarp protect it?" He said, "Not really. There's a lot of holes in the tarp."
Yeah. Nice tarp.
Yeah. From Maui, right? The tarp. we don't want to offend anybody from the Valley Island.
Of course not. If
Not
I was
at all.
born there, I wouldn't want to do that.
That's right. You are a Mauian. Gee, I lost the lottery again. Ground ball to the second baseman, Wood. He goes to the shortstop, Stocker. The throw to first is wide. Lagusa is erased, and Takayoshi reaches on the fours.
Well, now, even on that ball that Takayoshi hit, he hit that with authority. He's also been getting pitches to hit. They've been throwing them more on the inside corner. You can see where the target was in all the pitches.
Here's John Viella. John is from Maui. Went to Baldwin High School. Hometown is Wailuku. Last night's game, Viella was 0 for 3. He did walk. And he had a fielder's choice last night, reached on a fielder's choice, and he drove in a run. That's what he's done for the series. 1 ball and no strikes to Big John with Todd Takayoshi on at first base and the check throw over. Our Midas Touch inning will be played beginning next week when the Rainbows take on Brigham Young. Be sure to enter now at your nearby Midas location, and while you're there, check out the February special, such as 50% off the second shock or strut. Buy 3 shocks or struts and get a 4th one free. Plus, check your copy of this week's Midweek magazine for Midas coupons. Good for Midas gold mufflers, oil changes, and wheel alignments. These offers good all throughout the month. 2 balls and no strikes, 2 outs, bottom half of the first inning, no score, game 3 of the series. Outfield plays John Viella very much straight away. Takayoshi going, throw to second base, bounces. That's a stolen base for Takayoshi. He is now 2 for 2.
Well, Takayoshi gets a good jump on the pitcher Anderson. Now, the catcher Johnson took about 2.2 seconds to get the ball to second base, which is not a real good time, thereby allowing Takayoshi his second swipe of the season.
In that particular case, did Takayoshi steal off the pitcher or off the catcher?
Well, he will study the pitcher, and he will put the pitcher into a certain type of category with his eyes. He'll look.
And Viella is plunked.
Anyway, Takayoshi will look at the pitcher and decide in the terminology that he uses what kind of pitcher he is, and that's how he'll attempt to steal.
Take a look at this hit off the high shoulder of John Viella. John shakes it off. He's on at first base, and Todd Takayoshi on at second base. Right now, the sky very overcast. We have had tag play in the sky today. We've had blue skies, and then all of a sudden the gray clouds roll in, and then the blue peeks through again. So upstairs they are frolicking in between the clouds and the sky. At one of those rainstorms this morning, both runners going, throw to third, won't get it. Won't get it. And it appeared as if Johnson had trouble getting the ball from the glove to where he could throw it. That's the second stolen base for Takayoshi, and Viella right behind him gets one too.
Now, we talked about this on Friday night, that Coach McDonald teaches the same kind of stealing system at Washington, and the entire thing came from Stanford. And Takayoshi learned that from Timo Donahue, from Damien, who went to University of Washington. So you can see the Washington people do the same kind of thing. In fact, they are a running ball club, and Hawaii has negated that by their play and not really allowing them the situation to steal.
So McDonald out talking to Rick Anderson, and he's saying, look, guys, this is the bottom half of the first inning. And these guys are stealing as if they own it. Two outs, 2 on. Rainbows threatened in the bottom of the first inning, no score. Kenny Harrison is the batter. Harrison, 1 for 4 in last night's game, 2 for 8 in the series, batting .250 on the year. And the pitch to him. Harrison looks at a ball outside. He's from Kailua and says Kailua is probably in the state the finest place to be from. I mean, he brags about Kailua.
Well, I lived over there for 13.5 years and I loved it.
Well, why did you move?
That's because it's closer to where I work.
Oh, all right.
There's something about going through the Pully Tunnel, going back home. It's like a veil that comes right down over that tunnel, and that's it. You're in another world after that.
You can forget your troubles.
Yeah, it's a good place to be.
But you're not there.
You're right.
Ball 4, Harrison walks. Second walk allowed by Anderson in this inning. He's also hit a batter. And the batter will be Darren Moreland, and Moreland fresh off last night's game-winning hit in the bottom half of the 9th inning. A single up the middle, scoring 2 runs to win it. Moreland is now 4 for 8 in the series. He was 3 for 5 in last night's game. 3 runs batted in. And of course the game-winning hit, 5'10" senior from Milwaukee, Oregon.
Well, Coach McDonald was mentioning before the game that he's not real sure how Rick Anderson's going to do because he's a junior college transfer and he hasn't been tested yet, so he's throwing him in there now.
That's a strike, and it's 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Takayoshi is at third, Viela at second, and Kenny Harrison at first. The count. Sky has brightened a bit now as the blue begins to break over Diamond Head. Boy, this is $1 million view in this ballpark, that's for sure. Bases loaded for the Rainbows. We are in the bottom half of the first inning. Pitch to Moreland, popped up in foul territory, may be playable. Cloud, the first baseman, chasing, running out of room, but he gloves it for out number 3, and the Rainbows do not score. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 3 men left on. We've played 1, and we are scoreless.
Quote. Celica. One of the most eye-catching cars of the year. Auto Magazine. The performance is stunning. Sports Car International.
Unquote. The 1991 Toyota Celica. Enough said.
And we can tie these new locations into your existing Watts line and still give you the lower rate.
Looks good. Let's do it. Remember when we were in that little office in Kakako?
No parking, no view.
No air conditioning? Anyway, I just wanted to let you know how much I appreciate it.
New York on line 2.
Right.
Customer support. We built our company around it. Long Distance USA.
For over 1,000 years, Hawaiians travel vast distances across open ocean, quickly, efficiently, and dependent on the strength and spirit of the people. Today, Hawaiian Airlines connects these islands with efficient, helpful, and on-time service that works because of the strong commitment of our people. Our spirit is unique. We are Hawaiian.
Sophia needs time off from her vacation.
Your life is supposed to flash before your eyes when you're dying, not when you're on vacation.
On the next Golden Girls.
Monday on KHNL 13.
Rainbows entertained themselves before the start of today's game with a little bowling exhibition in the dugout, and Todd Takayoshi showing us that he not only is a capable catcher and hitter for the Rainbows, but also on the lanes.
He's got the form, too.
You
notice him relax.
Yeah, look at this. That's a strike. Yeah.
Wow, the baseball dugout, huh?
Oh, yes. David Noakes the first batter here in the top of the second inning hit the first pitch to Darren Moreland in center field. And there's one out. That'll bring up Darryl Cloud, the first baseman, 3 for 9 in the series. 0 for 4 last night, however, he did score a run. 6'2" junior from Kirkland. Went to Green River Junior College. Cloud, either the designated hitter or the first baseman. Today, he is playing first. Want to remind everyone, at the conclusion of this game, Pal and I will be selecting the GTE Hawaiian Tel Most Valuable Rainbow. University of Hawaii General Scholarship Fund will benefit in the name of that player from Hawaiian Tel. Second inning, no score, 1 down. Pitched by Billy Blanchette. Outside, 2-0. Billy works quickly. But I do not expect Billy B to go more than maybe 4, maybe 5 if you really stretch him today.
Well, yeah, you're right, and it depends on how many pitches he throws early. In the last inning, he didn't throw very many. Now he's behind 3-0.
Trying to get that breaking ball to behave, and so far to Darryl Cloud, it has not. Comes back with a fastball, and Cloud rips it foul up the left field side.
Well, that pitch that he got David Noakes out to fly out to center field, and also the one to Brent Lutz, who ended the first inning, the ball was up a little bit, and that pitch was up. So now Billy needs to concentrate on getting the ball down on the strike zone. However, this is the kind of park with right-handers that you can almost serve it up and say, here, hit it as far as you can, big guy. You know, and then it's warning track power, right?
That's it. That's ball 4. Cloud walks. First walk allowed by Billy Blanchette. Rainbows will pull the infield into double play depth. And the batter will be Todd Turner, the third baseman. Turner is batting .500. 4 for 8 for the series. He was 2 for 4 last night with a run batted in. He's from Red Deer, Alberta, British Columbia. Left-handed batter. Pitch to him is up high. So Billy has been consistently, at least here in the second inning, consistently high with his pitches. And with a team like Washington, a team coming out of the batting house, that's really all that they're going to do is swing and swing and swing. You get that pitch up high, it can be walloping it a long way. 1 ball, 1 strike. Daughtry backed up in right field. Moreland on the left side of center. So it is opened up in right center field for Turner. That pitch misses, 2-1. There you see the outfield. You see Moreland on the left, to the left of second base, and then in right field, Daughtry backed up, and a good look there at Todd Turner. The 2-1 pitch. Ground ball, center field, base hit. Holding at second base is Cloud. Turner gets the first hit of this game and the first hit for the Huskies. And Turner now in the series is 5 for 9.
Well, the pitch was down in the outside corner. Todd Turner does a good job. Yeah, he's having a good series. He's that 5 hits. 5 for 9, you say?
Here's John Burke. Burke 2 for 7 in the series. Last night he was 1 for 4. Drove in 2 runs, however. Up high. 1 ball and no strikes. Billy Blanchette in trouble here in the top half of the second inning. 1 out. Runners at first and second. The 1-0 pitch. Burke takes all the way, takes a strike, 1-1. Burke from Kirkland, Washington. Kirkland across Lake Washington from Seattle. Breaking ball misses, 2-1. Blanchette doesn't have an overpowering fastball. He's been clocked here today at 78 miles an hour. That is not enough to break thick glass, that's for sure. But it has to be thick glass. 3-1. Billy potentially now one pitch away from loading the base.
And throwing these many pitches is not characteristic of the kind of pitcher he is. Again, he's close all the time, but, you know, it doesn't count in the strike zone being close.
Billy just has a move towards second. Darrell Cloud at second, Todd Turner at first, John Burke at the plate. And Blanchette behind on the count. Dangerous pitch here, 3-1. Good pitch, however, at the corner. And it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. So now 3-2, runners at first and second. You're a pitcher that doesn't have much experience as a starter. Your breaking ball has not been behaving that well. The batter knows that. Let's see if he goes with a fastball here. He does, and he just misses. I thought Billy thought he had that pitch. Second walk. And that loads the bases. Cloud at third, Turner at second, and Burke at first. Carl Furatani, the pitching coach for the Rainbows, and Les Murakami. See, they have it. Oh, Carl moved. Very stoic coaching staff, that's for sure. And then when you throw in Ron Nomura, that brings the average down. It really does, because he's a holler guy. He's a holler guy. Here's Eric Johnson batting for the first time. Takes a strike over the inside corner.
You know, Eric Johnson was the catcher on that Little League World Championship team.
Oh, from Kirkland,
yeah,
from Kirkland, Washington.
Taiwan.
You're right, yeah. That ball nubbed foul wide of the third base line. Bases loaded. 1 out. The pitch way high and outside. And the count now 1-2 to Eric Johnson.
See, when you get in this kind of situation as a pitcher, you've got to bear down and concentrate on getting the ball down in the strike zone, because you see the whole inning would be a moot inning if you can get a double play out of this situation. So it all really doesn't matter.
2-2, 2 balls and 2 strikes, and Blanchette throwing many pitches here in the second inning. Cloud at third, Turner at second, and Burke at first. 2-2 to Johnson. And Washington has turned the tables on the Rainbows. Rainbows had the bases loaded in the bottom of the first. 3-2, full count. Runners to their leads. Big pitch here. Line drive caught by the second baseman, Duggar. Looks around for the possibility of a double play. It doesn't materialize. That is the second out of the inning. Bases still loaded, and the batter will be Mike Wood. He also batting for the first time in this series.
A good coach will tell his runners when there's a line drive and you're on base anywhere, especially when you have a full base, you say freeze when a line drive is hit. Not go back to the bag, but freeze. Okay, and then when you see that the ball is going right at someone, then you can go back. And that was a good job of base running by Washington.
First pitch to Wood. That's over for a strike, 0-1. Wood was born in Warwick, Rhode Island, majoring in editorial journalism. Must drive the coach crazy.
He checks out all of the correspondence.
That's right.
Checks over the media guide.
Not only that, but he can give editorials about the quality of the team. That was a bum move you made last night, coach. I didn't like it. You know? Editorial journalism. Has younger twin brothers, Moses and Joshua. A high fly ball to left. This should end the inning. Kenny Harrison squeezes it for out number 3. So Blanchette gets out of it. No runs, 1 hit, 3 men left on. We go to the bottom of the second. No score.
Making the dream. Set yourself free. Take the wheel of a driving machine. Turn yourself loose. Let yourself go. Cut a team. Has your machine. Hawaii's driving boss.
Hurry, your handwriting. It's impossible.
See you later, alligator.
But Myra...
Let him go. It's his bowling night.
Is this a 3 or an 8?
Beats me. Let's go to the bank.
Bank of Hawaii has more services, resources, and know-how to put your business online with the bank.
It's cleared.
Hey, look at this one. Harry should have been a doctor.
He'd expect me to be his nurse.
It's great to be your business bank. Bank of Hawaii, Hawaii's bank.
At Island Movers, we believe in service to our customers and service to our community. As Hawaii's premier mover and general agent for North American van lines, we've moved thousands of families over the years. Island Movers supports the community with employment opportunities and sports programs right here at home. We understand how important a home can be, and that's why we support our community. We're Island Movers, in service to Hawaii.
For the first time on television, Robert De Niro, Charles Grodin, Midnight Run.
Wednesday on KHNL 13.
Bottom half of the second. Chris Duggar, the second baseman, Steve Otani, the shortstop, and Scott Craven, the third baseman for the Rainbows, against Rick Anderson. 7th, 8th, and 9th players in the order. As you look at Les Murakami coaching at third base. Chris Duggar steps in. Duggar appeared in last night's game for the first time and had a base hit. He's batting 1,000, and he continues to bat 1,000. First base hit for the Rainbows. This one to left field. Duggar on at first base. So the newcomer, Chris Duggar, continues the streak going, and he doesn't take a lot of time. I mean, first offering, boom.
No, he's got the high leg kick, and he really extended well on that. And again, he had a clutch single last night. You mentioned 2 hits now, that hit and run.
In contrast to Duggar is Steve Otani, still looking for his first hit of the season.
Well, he's pressing a little bit. I think he's over swinging. I mean, Stevie isn't a real power guy, although we have seen him hit it with occasional power. But I think he just needs to get back to making contact, because that's the type of hitter he is.
0 for 6 now in this series. Ground ball to the second baseman. Wood charges. Stocker for 1. Relay to Cloud. And this way over Cloud's head. And moving up to second on the error will be Otani. So Stocker, this is the second time in this series, third time, excuse me, that Stocker has thrown the ball not well, trying to turn the double play.
Right. Well, it's the second time, and you're right the first time about throwing it into the dugout, but it's the third time that he's made a poor throw to first base. Now, this is not the kind of player that we've heard about. I mean, he came in very highly touted as an outstanding shortstop.
So the first error recorded. That is the 9th error of this series. 9th. Outside and low to Scott Craven. 1 ball and no strikes. Craven in the series 0 for 3. He started at third base in the opener. Last night he went in as a pinch runner. And it was his run that won it.
Well, for whatever reason, Craven on Friday night had opened up his front foot and was standing with it with the right foot closer to the plate. Now he's back to his normal position, back off the plate a little bit, and you know, we'll see if that helps him.
2-0 to Scott Craven. Trying to pick up Ohtani. And he takes a pitch inside. 3 balls and no strikes. Well, it has to. It's almost parental with you, knowing you. That when you look at Blanchett and when you look at Craven and when you look at Franz Ewan, all players who played for you, and they're having trouble. I mean, come on. You in between times, you kind of give them a little tip, huh?
Yeah. Well, and of course, we have the benefit of replay, too, right?
Of course.
We get to see a lot of the things that they normally wouldn't see. You know, I would like to think, too, after 23 years of coaching, or starting my 23rd year, that you've learned a little bit about coaching these guys. And, yeah, you know, we've known each other, coach for 6 years, each of these guys.
Craven walks. That's the 3rd walk allowed by Anderson. And we go to the top of the order to Dwayne Daughtry. Daughtry laid a bunt down wide of the first base line, and it was a foot race early. 0 for 1. Pitch to him. Outside and low. 1 ball and no strikes. Daughtry with that 25-game hitting streak. He's like the Joe DiMaggio now, you know, of Rainbow hitters in that particular area of hitting streak.
How many games was it?
25.
25.
What was amazing about that hitting streak was that he was in a slump before he started. He was having all kinds of problems. Pitch to Daughtry, dribbled off the bat. Over is the second baseman Wood. He throws the cloud in time for the 2nd out. Moving to 3rd is Ohtani. Moving up to 2nd is Craven. Now it's time for a Bud fact or question. Last season, which Rainbow led the team with a .484 slugging percentage? That's the question. And the answer is Levon Larkus.
Oh, I knew it all the time. There wasn't even a ball on the roof that we got one of those, huh?
And that's Levon Largusa batting now. He is trying to pick up Ohtani and Craven. So the Rainbows threaten again here in the 2nd inning. And the pitch outside. 1 ball and no strikes. See, the sky has cleared a bit now. Huh?
It's nice. Great view, as you said earlier.
Anderson with a long look. And the 1-0 pitch. That gets away from the catcher, and that will yield a run. Ohtani comes down from 3rd. And Anderson will be charged with the wild pitch. Moving up to 3rd is Craven. Rainbows lead it now, 1-2-0. And Bob McDonald chews on that gum a little bit more vigorously.
Target on the inside part of the plate. Anderson overextends a little bit. Nice attempt by the catcher Johnson. Just couldn't get quite over far enough.
Lucky it didn't hit the batter, Largusa. It is now 2-0 to Largusa with 2 outs. And Craven at 3rd base. Largusa lifts it to the roof. That is number 6.
Yeah,
on the
that's
season.
number 6.
And it gives us our first opportunity today to play Do You Really Care trivia.
Name the northernmost city in the American League.
Toronto.
Wrong.
Ooh. Well,
that was my first guess.
Yeah.
That was my first guess. Toronto.
Well, now to see the Great Lakes come in there, this is a geography question.
Further west, young man.
Ooh. Further west.
Far west, young man.
Seattle.
Seattle. Yes.
Is more north than Toronto.
Yeah.
See? Now that's the first real good question of the year.
A little geography lesson in there.
Yes. 2-2 pitch. And they say Largusa went around, and that is the first strikeout. registered by Anderson. It is also the third out. But the Rainbows get a run. They do it subtly, but they get a run. And as we move to the third, the Rainbows lead the Huskies by that margin.
Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream.
Introducing the new Jeep Wrangler Renegade, the most powerful Jeep 4x4 ever made.
See them now at your Hawaii Jeep and Eagle dealers.
Furniture savings for every room in your home during the JCPenney February Furniture Sale. That's right. During the entire month of February, JCPenney is offering fantastic department-wide savings on a huge array of furniture at both our Ala Moana and Pearl Ridge stores. Although this sale lasts the entire month of February, you'll want to check it out right now for the best selection. 1 month of furniture savings only at JCPenney's February Furniture Sale.
What do you think? Here's a better idea.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the Bermuda Triangle.
No wonder nobody ever comes back.
Yes, it beats so good.
That's a Delta L1011 on its way to the continent, which reminds me that Tuesday night we will be flying Delta to the continent for the University of Hawaii basketball road trip. We'll have 2 games for you live. First game from Salt Lake City against Utah. Second game from Provo. That first game on Thursday, the second game on Saturday. Salt Lake City against Utah, Provo against Brigham Young. And KHNO will also bring you a big WAC series next week. Brigham Young in town for baseball. Kevin Stockard leads it off in the 3rd inning for Washington. So outstanding stuff coming up on KHNL. Hawaii against Utah via satellite Thursday 4:30, and against Brigham Young that will be baseball at 7. So a dual intercollegiate sport doubleheader live for you on KHNL. I've always wanted to do this. You want me to do it? KHNL, Kennel Television for Hawaii. Doggone good.
Name the.
Oh, good stop by Craven. Struggles, throws, gets him.
Name the dog food commercial that used to have that.
I can, you know.
Okay. Is dog blank dog food is doggone good. Woof.
It's Dr. Ross.
Dr. Ross, you got it. That's right.
Do him the favor. It's got more meat and it's got more flavor. Got more meat to make him feel the way he should. Dr. Ross dog food is doggone good. Here's Darren Doty. See, when you're growing up, all this stuff sticks in your mind. Darren Doty lifted a fly ball to Dwayne Daughtry in right field. Pitch by Blanchette. That will end up on the net. And it is turned into a brilliant Sunday afternoon. This is nice.
Yeah, that is nice. This is the way it should be played, right here.
This almost has this ballpark, watching the Rainbows play on a Sunday, and the sun is shining, and the sky is its Hawaiian blue. It has an aura of spring training to it. It does. I mean, when the major league clubs are in spring training, there's a laid-back, very mellow kind of atmosphere here. And if you listen very carefully, you can hear the weed whackers going on St. Louis Heights. 3 balls and 2 strikes, the count to Darren Doty. There you see St. Louis Heights. 3-2 pitch swung on and missed. First strikeout for Billy Blanchette. And there's 2 down in the top half of the 3rd inning. That will bring up Brent Lutz, the designated hitter. You know, when your Opus sends luau messages to your head, it's time to head for Hiley's Hawaiian food for some onolicious kau. Lomi salmon, o pi'i, ka lua pua'a. Your Opu will thank you. And Hiley's will thank you. Hiley's Hawaiian food. The 1-0 pitch to Brent Lutz. That's a fly ball that will fall in for a base hit to center field. That is the 2nd hit for Washington. Moreland on the retrieve for Lutz. That is his 4th hit of the series.
Well, the pitch is up, and again, Billy's been getting the ball up when he's been throwing strikes in the zone anyway, and that's kind of a flare. Wasn't hit real hard, but good enough for his 4th base hit of the series.
Lutz now 4 for 11 in the series. Top half of the 3rd, the Rainbows lead by 1, tie and run aboard. And David Noakes, who flied out to Darren Moreland to start the 2nd inning, batting for the 2nd time. 1 ball and no strikes to it. That's a strike, 1-1. Good look at Bob McDonald in his 15th year coaching in Washington. Good move toward first. Back is Lutz.
Well, like the Hawaii catcher Takayoshi, Lutz is the Washington catcher. He's DHing today, but he's not afraid to go. They'll put the sign on for him.
Washington 84 out of 100 in stolen bases last season. Hard hit fly ball, and then as it gets past 3rd, it turns into a bouncing foul ball. And the count 1-2. Washington will play. And I like their schedule this year because they do play in the College Baseball Classic in the Kingdom in Seattle, Washington. And they want to make that an annual affair in the Kingdom in Seattle. And that College Baseball Classic this year, Air Force from the WAC, Northwestern of the Big Ten, and Notre Dame. This is the 2nd year in a row that Notre Dame will be in the Baseball Classic. The College Baseball Classic in the Kingdom. They will also play in the Aggie Continental Classic at College Station, Texas. That's at Texas A&M. And Texas A&M, that ballpark there is the ballpark that this ballpark is modeled after. Very awkward way to say it, but that's where the idea for this ballpark came from. And they will also play in the Cal Riverside Invitational in Riverside, California. Good pitch by Blanchette. Noakes strikes out. Billy B strikes out 2 in the 3rd inning, gives up a hit, but no runs. After 2.5, it is 1-0 Hawaii.
Hon!
Just a minute.
Are you going by the bank? Mom! Can you drop off the loan application?
Okay.
And then pick it up?
What?
Mom! It'll only take 20 minutes.
20 minutes? Can you pick it up?
Kodak film is a big favorite with UH sports fans who want to capture the action and excitement of any event in the true colors of Kodak. For fast action pictures or for sharing golden memories, you'll always capture the true colors of Hawaii with Kodacolor Gold Film from Woolworth.
We're Woolworth's, Hawaii's favorite store.
Kodak, a proud supporter of UH sports.
Take a typical American car. That's about 3.5 years old with around 40,000 miles on it. And the people who own it would like to keep it maybe 2 more years. But in the next few months, that car may start running a little sluggishly, which could just mean it's time to change gasolines to 89 octane at Unical 76. 2 extra octane points could be all that's needed for 2 more years of trouble-free driving.
Wednesday on KHNL 13. Witness nature's overwhelming power against the enduring human spirit. Kalapana, Death of a Hawaiian Village, a KHNL special presentation, Wednesday evening at 7.
That, I really don't know what that sign means, but it hung out of one of the dormitory rooms there. I really don't know what it means, and to tell you the truth, I really don't want to investigate what that means. But if there has to be a stud of the game so far, it's that young man right there, Billy Blanchette. Todd Takayoshi leads it off in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 1 run on 1 hit for the Rainbows, no runs on 2 hits for Washington. And the Huskies have committed an error. First pitch to Takayoshi, and he has to jackknife away from that offering. 1 ball and no strikes. Takayoshi reached on a fielder's choice in the 1st inning, stole 2nd, then stole 3rd. He is now 3 for 3 in stolen bases in this series and, of course, for the season. 1-0 pitch to him, high and away. 2-0. This has turned into a magnificent afternoon when you consider that we started under very threatening gray skies. The 2-0. 3 balls and no strikes. I'd like to send our many alohas to those of you watching on the neighbor islands, Kauai, Maui, Molokai, Big Island of Hawaii, Lanai. Ball 4, another walk allowed by Anderson. That is the 4. And Big John will come to the plate. John Biella. Rainbow's trying to build something here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning.
And now activity begins in the Washington bullpen. Number 16, right-hander Todd Carson. He's a senior from Tumwater.
Anderson has a look at Takayoshi. He can always go. And Takayoshi will go on the wild pitch. Make the turn at 2nd and almost go halfway to 3rd. And Eric Johnson can only shake his head.
Well, you know, that did not look like it was in the dirt. It looked like it was a fastball that just got by him.
Official score has called it a wild pitch. So Takayoshi on at 2nd. 1-0 to John Biella. And Anderson ready to work. That's inside. 2 balls and no strikes. .340 down the lines, 380 in the alleys, 400 straightaway center field. Biella looks at a strike on the inside corner, 2-1. Then he looks skyward. Perhaps appealing to a higher source.
It was great to see Al Zeke Zarilla at the ballpark again today.
Big Al Zeke. And it's really something to meet a baseball legend, someone who has been written about. David Halberstam's great book, as you see the pickoff move toward 2nd. The summer of '49. And Zeke Zarilla is mentioned prominently in that book in the Great American League race that year between the Red Sox and the Yankees. And Zeke is here at the ballpark today. That pitch is low, 3-1, 3 balls and 1 strike. And Anderson continues to throw many pitches. 1-0 Rainbows, and Takayoshi in scoring position at second base. Biella, excellent bunt. Anderson throws to Cloud at first base. Biella is retired. Moving up to third is Takayoshi. And Biella laid that ball down almost clandestinely up the first base side. Huh?
I didn't expect it. And I'm not even sure this was a sacrifice bunt with the count 3-1. I think he may have been trying to bunt for a base hit on a push bunt attempt, but it didn't go quite as far as he wanted it to.
So Takayoshi now at third. A fly ball can score him. Here's Kenny Harrison with 1 out in the bottom of the third inning. Pitch to him. Fly ball, base hit. It could be in for extra bases. Takayoshi will lope in from third to score. Up with the ball is Noakes. Harrison dives into second with a double. So Kenny Harrison with his first double of the year, his third run batted in this series. And the Rainbows lead 2-0.
Well, Kenny mentioned before the game that he was having a little bit of difficulty coming around on the inside pitch. And, you know, that time that was an inside pitch, and he was able to extend his hands and get the fat part of the bat out in front. 2-base hit and an RBI.
Still 1 out. Rainbows lead 2-0. And Harrison at second base, and the batter Darren Moreland. Moreland popped up to Darryl Cloud in foul territory to end the first inning. Good look at Kenny Harrison. First pitch to Moreland.
And I think as a general rule for pitchers, when you're throwing a lot of pitches and he's walked 4, hit 1, I'm sorry, he's committed 2 wild pitches, that there's a tendency to try to get the ball over the plate, and because of that, you're going to start grooving things.
1-0 pitch. Ground ball to the shortstop, Stocker. He will go to third, sliding. It is Harrison. Harrison never gets to third base. Now that could be charged just bad base running on the part of Harrison.
Well, it definitely is bad base running. The ball's hit right at Stocker, the shortstop. Now, when you're on second base and you don't have to go, and in that situation, Kenny didn't have to go.
Look at the reaction of Les Murakami. What are you doing?
Well, when you get on bases, now this is for the young people that play the game, be sure you anticipate. Think about where the ball could be hit and what you're going to do in that situation. And get used to thinking that way, and you'll be a better base runner.
Here's Chris Duggar, 2 for 2 on the season. Duggar singled last night after going into the game at second base, and also the first time today that he batted in the second inning. 2 outs, a runner at first base, and Anderson busies himself with Darren Moreland. We're in the third inning. 2-0 Rainbows, coming off the RBI double by Kenny Harrison. Another check throw to first, and this could be a 2-base error. Chasing it is Cloud. Rallying second is Moreland, on the way to third, and he will go in standing up. Second error by Washington, the 10th of this series.
Now, when the ball goes to the infield side of the bag like that, it's wide open territory down there, and we've always seen the guy go from first to third as a base runner. Now, when the ball goes inside of that, in other words, toward the dugout side, then it may hit that wall, and he may not be able to get third.
So Bob McDonald out again to visit Rick Anderson. Rainbows with 2 outs have a runner at third base.
When he has the ball in his hand and he's rubbing it up now, usually when a manager or a coach grabs the ball like that, he's going to make a change.
And they will make the change. New pitcher coming on. We'll take a break. Rainbows lead 2-0.
They say the memory goes first, not mine. This brings back everything. It's an old-fashioned patty melt. I used to have it on the shore. Oh, it's such a juicy burger with cheese melting over everything, lots of grilled onions and bacon, and then they would grill it on rye bread, just like this one.
Introducing the old-fashioned patty melt. It's a classic at Jack in the Box.
No, my memory is good as ever.
For almost a year now, we've been turning your Safeway receipts into free Apple computers for the school of your choice. Local area schools have received many much-needed computers, and we have plenty more to give. However, you probably should gather and turn in your Safeway receipts soon, because this offer ends April 1st, and we don't want you to run out of time.
Where did all the blue skies go? Poison is the wind that blows from the north to the south and east. Oh, mercy, mercy me. All things ain't what they...
For the first time on television, Michael J. Fox, The Secret of My Success.
Monday at 8:05 on KHNL 13.
Todd Carson has come on to pitch, 6'2" senior from Olympia, Washington. Went to Tumwater High School and then Lower Columbia Junior College before transferring to the University of Washington program. In 7 appearances last season, he was 0-2 with a hefty earned run average of 9.27. In 22 innings, he gave up 33 hits, 23 earned runs, walked 10, and struck out 7. Chris Duggar will come on as you look at the starter, Rick Anderson. And the pitch inside. Bob McDonald took the opportunity while we were away to start talking balls and strikes with Greg Poole. McDonald's not particularly thrilled with the way Poole was calling the balls and strikes. See a videotape replay of that conversation. But most managers, most coaches will say something to the umpire when they have to take out a pitcher. And umpires are used to that. Especially that gentleman there, Greg Poole. 2-0. That's in there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Darren Moreland on at third base. Getting there with a 2-base throwing error by starter Rick Anderson on a pickoff play. The 2-1 pitch to Duggar. Lays off the ball, takes it low and away, in the dirt, in fact, 3-1. Carson worked as the swing man in the rotation. And the 3-1 pitch. That's clinked to the backstop. And the count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Rainbows leading 2-0, 2 runs on 2 hits for the Rainbows. No runs on 2 hits for the Huskies. Bottom half of the 3rd inning. Three-two pitch. Ball 4. So Carson comes on and he walks Duggar. Duggar still batting 1,000, by the way. And the batter will be Steve Otani. He reached on a fielder's choice and scored the Rainbows' first run in the 2nd inning. Carson gets the fastball over for a strike, 0-1 to Stevie Otani.
You know, Carson, being a big fella, pitching from the third base side of the rubber and coming 3/4, that pitch that he just threw to Otani in the outside corner, very, very tough pitch to hit because of the angle of the delivery.
Ohtani waits. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Foul to the net. And the count 0-2 to Steve Ohtani. So the Rainbow shortstop behind on the count. Runners at the corners with 2 outs. Carson in relief of Anderson. And the 0-2 pitch. Up high. Runner going. Throw is grabbed by the pitcher. So Duggar moves up from first to second, and he will be credited with a stolen base.
That was a delayed steal. Duggar didn't go right away. Took some shuffle steps out, and then he goes. He's right around now that he's breaking. Now you see the catcher. Now he's a little late. Cuts the throw off, the pitcher does.
I don't know, good throw could have had it. And then you'd get into that rundown situation, huh? That's what the Rainbows wanted. With Moreland finally breaking to the plate.
And that throw would have been right on the bag, too, because
Yes.
he had to jump a little bit to get the ball.
Ohtani hanging in, 1 ball and 2 strikes to it. Runners at second and third now. Pitch to Ohtani. 2-2. There's Moreland. And there's Duggar. 3-2, full count. Well, one thing about Washington, they started with Terrace in the opener, and he was very effective, but there has been a real fall off in their pitching.
And last night, the pitcher Chris Berg had a few very good innings. Had some nasty stuff, but you know, things gave away on him. Now apparently they have 2 pitchers at home. One of their better pitchers had low blood sugar, so they left him home, and the other guy's still recuperating from an injury.
3-2 pitch off the glove of Turner. Ohtani will be credited with a base hit and an RBI. Coming in to score is Moreland. Moving up to third base is Duggar. And the Rainbows lead 3-0. 3-2 pitch. Ohtani gets his first base hit and first run batted in of the season.
Well, he's been over swinging, as I stated earlier. Now you see him stay down with that ball, keep his chin down through the swing, extend the hands nicely. And a hard hit ball by Stevie Ohtani.
The run charged to Anderson. It is 3-0 in favor of the Rainbows now. And the batter Scott Craven with runners at the corners. Duggar at third, Ohtani at first. The pitch is cranked foul, and that will end up in the Rainbow dugout. Oh, 0-1 to Scott Craven. And the pitch by Carson. No pitch. Carson steps toward third, looks toward first, and you know something? Nothing was accomplished. And we're right back where we started again. That's a strike. 0-2.
You know, that sign up there that's a stud of the game that we showed, there's numbers up there now, 35.
Well, that's Darren Moreland.
Yeah, I guess what they're going to do is have that maybe as a daily thing. For every time there's a game, they're going to put a guy up there for the rest of the year.
Or maybe that's where Darren Moreland lives.
Maybe that's where he lives. Yeah, it could be.
Little advertising for 35.
Or his girlfriend.
Could be. There you see number 35, Darren Moreland. Nice tape job, guys. The 0-2 pitch. Call, strike 3. Craven strikes out, and the inning is over, but the Rainbows able to contribute. They get a total of 2 runs on 2 hits, 2 men left on. They go to the 4th, 3-0 both.
Nothing beats it. Nothing beats it. The one and only. Nothing beats it. The clean, the crisp, the cold. The king of beers.
Nothing beats the bud. Nothing beats the king of beers. Nothing beats the Budweiser. Nothing beats the Bud.
GECC. Talk to us about your financial future, no matter how small you're beginning. We bring good things to life for Hawaii with insured investment programs, real estate financing, auto and equipment leasing. GECC. Remember our name.
GECC, we bring good things to living. We bring good things to life.
When we took our first Neighbor Island case 5 years ago, we came away with more than just a fair judgment for our client. We found that Neighbor Islanders were sincere, kept their appointments, returned phone calls promptly, and expected others to do likewise. It was a pleasure helping our neighbors, and we always seemed to come back with something special.
If you've been victimized in an accident, call Ian Maddock for a free consultation.
There is a better way to watch rainbow baseball, and that's to watch Channel 13. Instead of being there with the long-range binoculars, you know, bring it all to you right here. We move to the fourth. Darryl Cloud leads off for Washington against Billy Blanchette. And the first pitch is launched foul over by the K&L truck. Billy B going into the fourth inning. He probably testing his limits already because he has not pitched that much. Up high.
Well, I think he bears watching right now. Available for the Rainbows, Brandon Goda, our right-handed pitcher. Greg Nealon, who pitched a little bit on Friday night, he's available, as well as, I would guess, Craig Tucker could pitch an inning or two.
3 runs on 3 hits for the Bows, no runs on 2 hits and 2 errors for Washington. 2 balls and 1 strike to Darryl Cloud. He walked his first time up. A high, lazy fly ball to left field. Kenny Harrison lopes in and makes the catch. One out in the 4th inning. And the batter is Todd Turner. Blanchette had trouble in the 2nd inning. 2 walks, gave up a base hit, loaded the bases, but he was able to get out of that inning without Washington scoring. Gave up another base hit in the 3rd, but struck out Noakes to win that. Turner, who had a base hit in the 2nd inning, looks at a pitch that bounces off the plate and away. 1 ball and no strikes. The 1-0 by Blanchette. That's up around the eyes, and the count 2-0. Rainbow bullpen right now empty. Ground ball hard hit to his knees, Viella, and he's able to gobble it up, tag the bag for out number 2.
Well, this pitch is right down the middle, and Turner hits that ball very hard right at Viella. Now, good job of fielding, because you notice how he kept his head down, went right in front of that ball. He may not have had much of a choice. It was hit so hard.
Here's John Burke. He walked his first time up. 2 outs in the 4th inning. Want to know the count to him. Blanchette delivers. Fly ball, base hit, right field. So Burke able to jump on that Blanchette fastball. And Burke's 3rd hit of the series. It's also the 3rd hit for Washington, and you experience the swing of John Burke.
Well, Takayoshi signaled for a fastball in the outside corner. Blanchette came across the heart of the plate too much with that, resulting in the base hit by Burke. You know, John Burke spent a while this summer here with some local people who go to the school in the Pacific Northwest, and he had a great time here.
Here's Eric Johnson. I mean, how do you know he had a great time? Do you ask him?
Well, yeah, I did. I mean, he actually was here with the family of my dentist, Dr. Owen Kawakami, who sits in the dugout with them. He's right there near the end of the dugout for Washington. He's a graduate of the University of Washington. One of his daughters is graduating from there this year. So he and McDonald are good friends, Coach McDonald. And so, you know, he's given them sandwiches and soda and everything. So he's been supportive of this program. So anyway, Bert came down with his son Darren, who's a player for Pacific Lutheran in the area. There he is, the doc himself, Dr. Owen Kawakami, one of my dear friends.
Now, what hat is that?
That's the New York Knights.
That's right. That's
New York
from
Knights.
the
That's from the Natural.
The movie.
See that baseball, the ball club T-shirt he's got there? He's very selective. He's given it to different people that are really into baseball. I mean, on the bottom of the shirt, there's a little circle with your personalized number in there. Of course, his is number 10, see, and mine is number 13.
I understand. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 down, a runner at first base. And the 1-2 pitch to Eric Johnson, off speed, tapped to the right side. Craven throws, and Craven gets it. So Washington manages a hit, but that's all. After 3.5, Rainbows lead by 3.
Zippy's has good jobs. Most start at $6.50, and they train you to move up. Mike needed new fishing gear. He earned it working weekends at Zippy's. Zippy's part-time pays for Cheryl's college expenses. She got her friends to work also and earned cash bonuses. When she's not at home, Bev enjoys her career as a Zippy's manager, earning $30,000 a year. Pick up a paycheck at Zippy's. Jobs to fit your schedule, plus benefits. $6.50 to start. Apply at Zippy's today.
Dad, I got the loan papers.
Nervous?
It's a real big step.
So when do you see Diane at American Savings?
Tomorrow. Dad, we couldn't have done this without you.
We wouldn't want you to.
Thanks, Dad.
Strength. Generation to generation. That's something we understand. Strength Island families have always been able to depend on. American Savings Bank.
After millions and millions of hours in the air, after 17 years of staying up all night, every night, so that your packages can be delivered overnight to any address in America, Federal Express has become the first service company ever to win the Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award. It's the highest honor in American business. And just how did we do this? By being absolutely, positively the best in the business.
The whole world will be watching Sylvester Stallone in Rocky IV, Tuesday at 8:05 on KHNL 13.
Boy, you talk about foliage in a house, huh? Look where that house is. I wonder if they're watching this game.
Every time I see a house like that, I think I'd get arachnophobia up there.
Too many spiders, huh?
Too many.
We move to the bottom of the 4th inning. Rainbows leading 3-0. Dwayne Daughtry, leadoff man, leads it off here in the 4th and gets plunked. Daughtry goes down hard.
That is 8 batsmen that have been hit for this series. That's what, almost 22 innings old? 21.5 innings? 8 guys.
Boy, he really took it.
Almost the same spot that Moreland got hit the other night.
So that is the second Rainbow player to get hit in this game, as John Biella was hit in the 1st inning by starter Rick Anderson. And now Daughtry is hit in the 4th by Todd Carson. Largusa, who has walked and has struck out. Rainbow designated hitter. A bounce Lancer up the middle, waiting for it is Wood. His only play is to first base. He gets Largusa. Daughtry, who was running on the play, occupies second. And the batter will be Todd Takayoshi. You look at Largusa retreating to the dugout. Hisago Delicatessen and Catering takes the worry out of catering a special event or party. Select Ono dishes from Hisago's catering menu and make your next special occasion extra special. Hisago Delicatessen and Catering. It's been around for a long time and is a Hawaii favorite. Takayoshi lays off the ball, 1-0. Takayoshi reached on a fielder's choice. He has also walked. He has scored a run. He has stolen 2 bases. Comes to the park batting .625. Outside. 2 balls and no strikes. The Rainbows have been able to build a 3-0 lead here in this first confrontation of the season on a Sunday afternoon. I like this start time. Throw to second. Good move, and they pick off Daughtry. Good move by Carson. Daughtry caught wandering off of second. It was a very, very close play. Daughtry concedes, but I don't know whether he got that hand back in or not.
Daughtry is also a student of that type of base running that I described with Takayoshi, and he's beginning to learn it. But now you see how far out he is, and he begins his walk.
I thought the hand was back.
Yeah, I think so too.
Daughtry doesn't argue the point, but I thought he was safe. Three-one pitch. Fly ball to left field. Trotting near the line is Darren Doty. And Doty makes the catch for the 3rd out. So the Rainbows finish the 4th inning, and after 4 full, they lead by 3.
Shine a light on you, shine a light on me. Keep your footlight shining for everyone to see.
Every day, more and more people are getting together over an ice-cold Bud Light.
Well, you can taste it, you can feel it, you know you got it right. 'Cause everything else is just a light. Just keep your Bud Light shining. Bud Light shine on.
Introducing the American Beauty. It took vision and courage to bring it to you. It took a policy of unceasing devotion to quality. A revolution in the way its V6 engine and electronic transmission worked together with Dynaride to make it the smoothest Buick ever built. The completely new 1991 Park Avenue and Park Avenue Ultra. They're beauties, all right, from Buick.
You get more than a great car at a great price. Schumann's exclusive gold carriage service.
Let's kick it.
Word to your mother.
Blue skies have appeared over Manoa in great contrast to the deep greens. Rainbows lead 3-0 as we go to the 5th inning, and in for more play-by-play. Here's my pal.
Well, thank you, Billy Blanchette, now beginning his 5th inning of work. Mike Wood, the second baseman, is the first Husky batter to face him. Flew out to left field in the 2nd inning. Top of the 5th inning, 3-0 in favor of Hawaii. 3 runs, 3 hits for the Bows. No runs, 3 hits for Washington. They've committed 2 errors. 2-0 now the count again. Billy Blanchette probably able to throw 3 or 4 solid innings. But
no one in the bullpen. As he's working now into the 5th.
There's ball 3. Billy B. More nicknames than there are vitamin pills.
Really?
Yeah. And there's a strike on the outside corner, 3-1.
Can you tell us some?
Well, he's got Wilford, Wilbert, Willie, Billy B. Just call him Hey You, and he'll turn around.
Does he put his hat on straight?
Yeah, he's one of the few lefties that does. There's strike 2, 3-2. Pitched a little bit at Pepperdine in practice games as a freshman. As a sophomore, he did the same thing. I mean, he was over here, and he pitched a little bit in practice games. Fly ball back to the facade.
It's time for me to ask you a trivia question.
Well, it hit the facade. If you just want to ask one.
I'm sorry. It hit the facade.
That doesn't mean you can't ask. It's fun, you know, to answer all your questions.
No, that's okay. That's all right. I don't have that many.
And here's Barry Cura warming up, number 41. Hard ground ball fielded by Craven. He's got the long throw in time. Nice play by third baseman Scott Craven to help his former teammate out.
Craven did a good job of going to his right. That ball hit right down the line. You see him going over to his right and then planting a little skip step and the throw. And he gets it there in plenty of time.
Or I should say his former high school teammate. I mean, they're teammates now, right?
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
And here's Kevin Stocker, the shortstop.
See, you're speaking as their former high school coach. And I may say, probably right now, I'm not giving away any secrets, knowing you now, knowing you.
Stocker hits a high fly ball to left field. Harrison ranges to his left, makes the catch. A lot of plays out there for Kenny. Okay. Knowing me what?
Knowing you probably give him, as I said before, you probably give him some tips right now. Hey, I watched you last night, Scotty boy, your swing. Hey, what's with the foot there? You know what I mean? You give him a little shot. Now, it seems, especially in the last 2 innings, that Billy Blanchette has been able to get through without throwing too many pitches. So he could go farther.
Yeah, he had that long inning, the second inning, which he threw a lot of pitches, but since then he's bared down a little bit, and that's really the key as to how far he can go, is how many pitches he throws, right? Mm-hmm. Anyway, Darren Doney's the batter. He's 0 for 2. And the count is 0-2. Sun continues to make an appearance. Gee, I was kind of afraid. Greg Poole, the umpire, comes in and says it's really raining hard in Mililani. And you have a relative that lives in Mililani. It's probably watching the game now.
Oh, probably, yes. Yeah.
So, Mickey.
Mm-hmm.
Good to be at his house a couple weeks ago when you and I went riding. Pop up to the infield. Takayoshi makes that difficult catch for the third out. So 3 up and 3 down for Washington. No runs, no hits, no errors, and the score remains Hawaii 3, Washington 0.
So, what are you doing after this?
Let me think. Today's Tuesday. Tuesdays I play peekaboo.
Hey, what's that guy eating?
New BK broiler, flame broiled chicken. I hear it's fabulous.
Flame broiled, I like that.
Then there's the original Burger King chicken sandwich. Whole different taste.
So, what'd your dad get?
That's my mom.
Sorry, I still get those mixed up.
Chicken tenders.
So much chicken, so few teeth.
Hey, this is Burger King, so why do they have all this chicken?
Like they say, sometimes you gotta break the rules.
So that's what they mean by that.
Nissan's new NX is serious about fun.
The heat is on. It's on the street, yeah. Oh, the heat is. Oh. The heat is rising higher. It's a Nissan fire. Oh. Tell me, can you feel it? The heat.
Franklin stores in Hawaii. Convenience with a personal touch.
It's unbearable. At Ben Franklin, we're loaded with bears. Small bears, medium bears, and big bears. They're all bear-skinned now, but with your imagination and one visit to our craft department, these bears could be going in style. So get your share of bears in the craft department at Ben Franklin.
Convenience with a personal touch.
This KHNL sports presentation is sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers. Remember, know when to say when.
We're back at Rainbow Stadium as you get to look at the very top of Diamond Hit. 3-0 Hawaii. John Viella, the cleanup hitter, will lead it off for the Bows. He'll be followed by Kenny Harrison and Darren Moreland. Viella looking for his first hit tonight. First pitch is hit to left field. Darren Doty makes the catch for out number 1. Remember that at the conclusion of today's game, Jim and I will be selecting the GTE Hawaiian Tel Most Valuable Rainbow. Hawaiian Tel will present $100 to the General Scholarship Fund of the University of Hawaii in the name of the player who went beyond the call. And here's Kenny Harrison. Kenny is 1 for 1 with a big RBI double in the 3rd inning. He offers at the first pitch and hits it directly at Darryl Cloud, who tosses to the pitcher Carson for out number 2. So 2 pitches, 2 outs now for Todd Carson. Look for Hawaii to be taking here in the personage of Darren Moreland. Want the pitcher to work a little more than just taking 3, 4, or even 5 pitches in an inning. On the other hand, Todd Carson's going to try to pour a fastball right down the middle of the plate because he knows Moreland will be taking. And he does that, strike 1. Of course, Darren Moreland now, last night, the hero of the game with the big 2 RBI single to win it for Hawaii. Curveball inside, 1-1. There's a hard shot past the diving Todd Turner into left field for a base hit. Moreland's first hit of the afternoon. All season long, including the preseason in the Fall Invitational Tournament, number 35 has been swinging a pretty good bat. He's made several adjustments to his swing, and the results have been positive for him. The batter will be Chris Duggar, the second baseman. He goes after the first pitch as well. Fouls it back to the net, 0-1. Duggar represents the 3rd second baseman used by Hawaii. Chad Uehara started on Friday night, Franz Ewan last night, and Duggar gets a shot today. Duggar, a junior college transfer from Bellevue Community College in Washington. Close play over there. Moreland almost got hit off of the bag, and umpire Mike Evans now gives an emphatic safe sign twice. There's the second one. Strike on the outside corner, 0-2. Big WAC series coming up next weekend for the baseball Bows. Beginning Thursday night, doubleheader Friday, and concluding on Saturday. All brought to you live right here on KHNL Channel 13. Then the Bows don't play another WAC series until April. Now the big tournament, the Rainbow Easter Tournament, begins on March 22nd through 30th. Some great teams coming in town for that. Wichita State being one of the finer teams in the country. an NAIA champion for the last 3 or 4 years. Lewis Clark State will be coming, as well as Washington State, Portland State, Sacramento State, Davidson, and the University of Hawaii Hilo. So a lot of baseball, 4 games a day during that. Counts 1 ball and 2 strike now to Chris Duggar. Moreland being a little bothersome at first base for the pitcher, Carson. Foul ball back to the net. Count remains 1-2. As a matter of fact, partner, when Wichita State comes into town for that tournament, they're probably going to bring almost sure bet first-round draft choice. Pitcher's name is a right-hander pitcher named Tyler Green. He was here 2 years ago, and he's an outstanding prospect.
I remember him, yeah.
In the common parlance, he throws cheese.
See, that doesn't really make any sense, because anyone who has really thrown cheese.
Yeah, you know what happened? You see, that's right. That's exactly right. And when the term first came out, it was, I swear, it was used to describe a curveball. So when a guy throws real stink cheese, Moreland goes, Duggar lashes the single to left field. Moreland continues on to third base, and the throw by Doty, not in time. So Chris Duggar still batting 1,000, 3 for 3 now as a Bull.
Excellent base running by Hawaii that time. Good hustle by Moreland. Remember, this pitch is whacked into left field. He is not hitting behind the runner. And Moreland having enough speed to blaze around second and go to third. And you're right, Duggar is now 3 for 3. Is 2 for 2 in this game. And for the season, he continues to bat 1,000 as you look at Darren Moreland.
But now getting back to that terminology, I mean, just hearing the term cheese, and again, if a guy was throwing a great breaking ball, you'd call it stick cheese. You see, now that makes more sense to me than a guy throwing cheese throwing real hard. I mean, that's usually gas or the Express or BBs or pellets or aspirin tablets or something like that. Steve Otani's the batter. And he promptly grounds the first pitch to Stocker over to Wood. To retire, the sides of the Bulls come up empty, but they do get 2 base hits, and they still lead 3-0. We'll be back for the 6th.
Making the dream. Set yourself free. Take the wheel of a driving machine. Turn yourself loose. Let yourself go. Cut a cheap. Has your machine. Hawaii's driving force.
Aloha. I'm Al Unser Jr. for Gas Express. One of the things I like best about Gas Express is that they carry Valvoline motor oil products exclusively. And that's important to me because I only use the very best in my car. Valvoline. So next time you're at Gas Express, pick up something good for yourself and then pick up something even better for your car. Aloha.
Valvoline at all Gas Express stations.
Somewhere between the sand and sea, Kramer's splashes in with a tidal wave of color. Now surfacing, current trends of the time. Feel the heat? Catch the new wave in men's swimwear by Kramer's. At Surf's Up, Kramer's, Ala Moana, and Pearl Ridge.
Wednesday on KHNO 13. Witness nature's overwhelming power against the enduring human spirit. Kalapana, Death of a Hawaiian Village, a KHNL special presentation. Wednesday evening at 7.
Leading off the top of the 6th inning for Washington is Brent Lutz, the designated hitter. He's 1 for 2. He takes a changeup for a strike. Now, again, we mentioned earlier that what Blanchette will do after he finishes the first round through is start using that change more to lead off a batter, and he does that just then. Pop up. Yes.
Largusa's arm being worked on, and that's that wrist.
And we have foul ball number 6, and you had a question for me?
Yes, I did. I had a question for you. All right. All right, I have a question.
Look at a miss.
I'm looking it up here.
Strikeout number 4 for Billy B.
True or false? The Orioles, Baltimore, they have won 5 world championships since moving to Baltimore. True or false?
Falsola.
No. Yeah. Well, how many have they won? Well, how many? You're very good.
3.
Well, what years?
No, it's not that I'm very good, as I read all those before, see.
You read mine?
No, I didn't. I just know that. Ground ball hit by David Noakes to Craven. Long throw in time. So Billy B now bearing down a little bit in the last few innings. Will face Darryl Cloud, the power hitting first baseman for the Huskies, looking for his first hit. He's walked and flied out to the left fielder Harrison.
66, 70, and 83.
83, yeah.
Those are the 3 years the Orioles have been able to win world championships.
Cloud takes first pitch for a strike.
Now they're going to move into a new ballpark that's patterned after an old ballpark. Right?
Which is that old ballpark?
I mean, they're building a new baseball park for the Orioles, but the park itself is designed like an old park. It's not circular. And has corners to it.
Another changeup. Count remains 0-2 to Cloud. Well, we certainly haven't seen the bats that we saw Friday night out of Washington. Last night they gathered 5 hits so far today. 3. That's not to say they can't swing it, because we saw them do it. One of the things we always hear when we talk to the visiting team, and you know I like to talk to visiting teams, about the only team that isn't real cordial, well, the 2 teams.
Well, one is Stanford.
One is Stanford, that's guaranteed. Of course, we know the coaches, so we get to talk to them, but as far as the players, they're not real sociable. And the other one was Oklahoma State. They'd only talk to us in the, like before the games and stuff. We never really got a chance to talk to them on the field. But we like to do that. It's really interesting, and my point of view, to talk to them. Line drive to center field. Demo moves to his right, makes the catch on that line drive. So the Huskies come up empty in the top of the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and they're still behind 3-zip.
All right, show us what you got. Step in there now. Let's go. Knock it out.
Get into a new thing. Highway. Kentucky Fried Chicken. Fight the right thing. Come on and do some highway. Get into a new thing.
10 for 10. You finally found a speed you can handle.
Highway. Fried Chicken.
Spicy, zesty hot wings. New from Kentucky Fried Chicken.
No matter how careful you are, accidents do happen. And when they do, you need help. Shutter and Glickstein.
Hi, I'm Didi Ayo.
And away we go.
Reserve your Las Vegas package at special low prices to downtown's exciting Four Queens Hotel, or the dazzling Golden Nugget, or the new oasis on the Strip, the elegant Mirage Hotel. Fly on American Airlines with hotel, transfers, and some meals. Plus, save $60 with free stopovers in Los Angeles and San Francisco. Call now for the special to Las Vegas.
Creative holidays. And away we go.
Sophia needs time off from her vacation.
Your life is supposed to flash before your eyes when you're dying, not when you're on vacation.
On the next Golden Girls, Monday on KHNL 13.
Scott Craven leads off for Hawaii. the bottom of the 6th inning. Craven has walked and struck out. He's looking for that first hit. Line drive, that's foul. So it counts 1-1. Craven batting in the 9th spot for Hawaii. He'll be followed by leadoff hitter Dwayne Daughtry and the designated hitter Levon Largusa. Goose is kind of a interesting guy when you talk to him now, because he's been talked to so much by the media that he's got these standard answers.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
Goose, when are you ready? You know, pal, it's a day-to-day thing.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
And I said, oh, hey, give me a break, huh? Talk to me. 2-1 now to Craven. Takes that mighty swing, hits it back to the net, 2-2.
There's Levon.
Up high, full count. Brady Pereira is a pitcher that's sporting a sore arm right now. Of course, with Largusa, that leaves on the roster 7 pitchers available for Hawaii. Ground ball that takes a hop on the lip. That's a base hit for Scotty Craven.
We were mentioning yesterday that in the opening of this series, there is a lip. The dirt doesn't really come up to the AstroTurf, and there is a drop-off of about a ½ an inch. This ball bounces off that lip into right field. It bounces over Darrell Cloud at first base, and Craven is on with the 6th rainbow hit.
Well, I did try to find out, as Dwayne Daughtry steps in, I did find out why they have that. Because of what we said, by the way, so that the dirt doesn't pour out onto the surface as much. But they did say that in the back lips of it, they tried to smooth it out so that wouldn't happen. But it just did, right?
And of course it rained.
Yeah.
And they had to fill in with some loose cinder before today's game. They filled in the loose and they rolled it as best they could. The ground crew here is really dedicated. They really are.
Yeah, those young men spent a lot of hours here. Daughtry squares the bunt. Well, it's something you don't usually see, a 3-0 sacrifice bunt, but you know, to each his own. Call it as you want to call it, right, when you're the head guy. Bunt down the first base line. The sacrifice will be successful as Scotty Craven advances to second base. Now, as soon as Daughtry now, because it's a forced play, as soon as Daughtry stops his advance and start backing up, Mike Evans will pump him out right away.
Time Supermarket and Coca-Cola want to recognize people who volunteer their time to kids in sports. If you know someone who is the most valuable volunteer, go to any Time Supermarket for an official entry blank, then watch KHNL Sports to see if your volunteer has been able to win a weekly prize, and all entries get a chance to win the grand prize. That is a trip for 4 to Disney World in Florida.
And the batter is Levon Largusa, who hits a flare to left field. Decent decoy by the shortstop, Kevin Stocker, as he put his hands up like he was going to catch the ball. A nice base running by Craven, who held his ground until he saw that the ball was going to fall in and advance to third. So with runners at first and third, Todd Takayoshi, we get a look at this replay.
Largusa, it wasn't one of those aesthetically pleasing base hits, but he'll take it.
You've got a shot of Stocker's decoy right at the bottom of the screen there. The runners at first and third. Snack comes up 0 for 2, scored 1 run. You know, there are some players you want to see up, and when you're a coach anyway, in a RBI situation, and I would assume this is one guy you'd like to see up if you're a Rainbow coach. You know, I had a young man one time who in a course of a year and a half was up to bat 11 times with the bases loaded and did not drive in a single run. That's an
Are you speaking to him nowadays?
Oh, of course I am. Of course I am. But That's incredible. I mean, if it happened again, he's driving at least one, right? 11 times with the bases loaded and did not drive in a run. What do you think the chances are of that happening? Well, I guess if he went up without a bat, it would happen all the time, too. But, I mean, he actually had a bat in his hands. Counts 1-1 does Takayoshi. That falls him off his right foot.
And that's Smarts. See, here's Takayoshi. Here's Takayoshi in pain, but he's smiling.
Well, he's one of the guys we've seen play. I mean, with him and Johnny V, we've seen him for a long time now. Starting our 4th season. Every home game, and even some on the road, huh?
True.
Moreland, too, right?
Moreland.
Otani.
Otani, Biela, Takayoshi.
And when these guys leave, there's another crop of guys we can say the same thing about next year. A pinch runner now will enter the game for Largusa. Eric Evans, a freshman, just put on the active roster. He's a speedster. I think that's a good pinch run right there. Goose, not that quick a foot, wasn't really taking the lead over there.
You really don't want to risk injury to what could become later on this season your star pitcher. Good move.
Now, I assume you meant the move by Coach Murakami, not the 5-3 pick just now that he attempted, because I know you don't think it's a good move.
No, but the move by Coach Murakami to take Largusa out of the game to prevent injury. You know, he's still, that arm is still tender, and you don't want him diving into second base so he could roll up.
Yeah, that's for sure. He already did the slide at second base once today. And the thing about the bone that he broke, which wasn't diagnosed, I believe, till sometime in July, the first x-rays didn't show. And when the hand kept swelling up and he really wasn't able to throw very much, they x-rayed it again and found the broken navicular bone, which is in the spot in the hand that doesn't get a lot of circulation. That's why it takes so long to heal. Count is 2-2 to Takayoshi. Ball gets by the catcher, Johnson. Craven comes in to score, and Evans is at second base. So that's a wild pitch, the third wild pitch of the game for the Huskies.
That is a terrible pitch. I mean, you want to give credit to these young men. They are just starting out the season, but that pitch was nowhere near the plate. It was thrown behind Takayoshi, really. It was a terrible pitch.
You know, I wish you'd come out and say more how you feel. You know, I mean, you hide things like that.
and he knows it was a terrible
Absolutely. Because I agree with you 100%. That's a long way away from the strike zone. That's for sure. So Takayoshi now working from a 1-2 count to a full count, which in effect means he worked from a 0-0 count to a full count. Evans at second base, 1 out, bottom of the 6th inning, 4-0 Rainbows. Ball 4, second walk that Takayoshi has gotten today. The 6th overall by Husky pitching. And Johnny V is the batter, Biela, the third baseman. Well, I've checked that. This a first baseman today. A hit by a pitch, spun it, flew out to left field. Strike 1. Well, of course, I'm especially concerned about the weather, seeing as how they have all that carnival equipment on our outfield. You know, when they start moving those things with the big trucks and the ground is wet, when it leaves holes in our ground that, well, if they just worked on it, it would take maybe 2 years to fix.
You're talking about Punahou.
Yeah, the Punahou's Carnival, right.
Well, if anything like that happens, just raise the tuition.
Well, it makes over $1 million a year, and, you know, I'm sure not going to have anything to say about moving the carnival, right?
Well, let me ask you this. Punahou Carnival has been going on for many years, correct? Has there ever been a Punahou Carnival that it has not rained?
Yeah, this one.
It rained today.
Yeah, but the carnival is over.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
The last 2 days, I know, I'm just kind of sitting there, and we need a lot of time. You see, we need about 6 or 7 days of no rain so our baseball field doesn't get hacked to death, but it rained last night and today, so pickoff attempt by for Evans, and he's safe.
Yeah, this is the only year that I can think of that the Punahou Carnival is not really.
Well, it rained last year, of course, and mud all over the field, and our field is still, to this day, not back to the shape it should be in because of that.
And so what do? You have another carnival on top.
That's right, a year later. And there's a line drive glove by Carson, fielded by Wood over to first base in time. The runners were going. You know, the funny thing about that was that the back runner, in that case Takayoshi, had started and Evans didn't. So it would have been a real interesting play had Biela swung and missed, or not offered at all. So it's the routine 1-4-3 play here. Batter's Kenny Harrison. 1 for 2 with a double. Harrison, great guy to be around in the dugouts. And there's a balk. Greg Poole right away, up and pointing balk. Had his foot on the rubber, started his hands, and then stopped. That's a balk. And that's another thing that they're, even though he steps off, that's one thing that Mike Baldwin was saying last night. Now watch what he does here. Now, I didn't see any movement. I think maybe because he dropped that other hand.
But there's no argument from Coach McDonald.
Boy, we've seen a lot of stuff today. We've seen a balk, a couple hit batsmen, some wild pitches. 5-0 now, Rainbows. Harrison takes ball 2. Takayoshi, of course, is now at third base. I think if there's any pitch that is a good pitch to hit, it's this one.
Not that one.
No, but this count situation. 3-1 is the other one, but somehow the count is tainted because you got one strike, right? 3-0 now. Look, it looks like a baby or grand piano, doesn't it? You see it?
Sure does.
And there's a strike, a low strike. 3-1.
Looks like a what?
The shadow looked like a grand piano. I'll show you.
This is only the third game of the year.
Fly ball, left field, looks to be fouled, and it is. 3-2. Count remains full for Kenny Harrison. Kenny now batting in the 5th spot for Hawaii. That's the power position, the RBI guys.
He's from Kailua, where everyone says things 3 times to make sure that you understand it.
See the piano?
Where?
You see the shadow at the top behind third base, and then the stuff that comes up. Line drive to left field. Darren Doty makes the catch, out number 3, but the Bulls do score 2 runs on 2 base hits, and they leave a man. The score now 5-0 in favor of Hawaii.
And we had a shadow like a grand piano.
Great game. Great game.
Wild thing. It is a wild thing. Oh, come shout and sing, join in the ring. It could be queen or it could be king. You go your way and I'll go mine. As long as you just make it fine.
The good times roll with the clean, fresh taste of Bud Light. It won't fill you up, never let you down.
Wild thing. Wild thing.
So, okay, what's a Geo? It's not just one kind of car. It's a day at the beach, Tracker. A night on the town, Storm. It's Metro Convertible's top-down excitement and bottom-line value. Geo's family entertainment, the Prism. And best of all, you can get into a Geo for as little as $67.50 in the high-mileage Metro XFI. Geo's not just one kind of car, but you can get it at just one place, your Hawaiian Chevy Geo dealer. That's Geo. Got it? Get it.
How do I know where to get my brakes done right?
Come to Midas. There's a lot of value in our $79 or $99 basic brake service. And you get something else. Peace of mind. Knowing you get a thorough inspection by Midas-trained experts and a written estimate up front. Knowing every brake shoe and pad is guaranteed for as long as you own your car. And knowing the job will be done right. That's why more people come to us for brakes, knowing that nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
Manley Williams, number 66 on the University of Hawaii football team here at the baseball game. You know, that's rare. You have the Pro Bowl going on. Manley's here at the baseball ballpark. Way to go, big guy. Talk about loyalty to the Bows. Well, here is a story today. Billy Blanchette, used very rarely as a pitcher, not expected to go more than 0-4, maybe 5 at the outset, certainly not 6. Here we are in the 7th, and Billy is still there, still pitching. Todd Turner, John Burke, and Eric Johnson for Washington. Ground ball to the second baseman, Duggar. He works to Viella, and there's one down. And that pretty much is the way the game has gone for Billy B. He has thrown now 86 pitches. John Burke will step in for Washington.
Well, one of the keys for Billy so far in this game for 7 innings now, or now that he started his 7th, is that he's gotten the first batter out every inning.
That's true. Pitch to John Burke. That's over for a strike.
If you look back in the history of this game, huge rallies always start when the leadoff hitter gets on. But that's not always the case, but most of the time, the leadoff hitter gets on, that's when both big innings occur.
And Washington, the batting order of Washington, reacting as if they really don't know what to make of Billy Blanchette. Yeah, he throws a fastball, but it's not really that quick, and he does have the off speed and the breaking ball he struggled with, but he pretty much has kept Washington off balance. There was an example of that off speed right there.
Yeah, he's thrown 2 curveballs in a row now, and both of them have been at different speeds. So he's not only throwing strikes now, except for the second inning, he's thrown strikes all game, but he's changing his speeds on everything that he throws. I mean, he's just kind of saying, here, hit this.
And they do. Base hit center field. Over to cut it off is Moreland. He does. Making the turn at first is Burke. Burke now has 2 hits off of Blanchette. We had some further explanation on that ball call. That the pitcher stepped off the rubber with the wrong foot.
The wrong foot. That's okay.
Bill Leonard.
You know, I was going to say, who called?
Bill Leonard, who was watching at home. One of the great umpires.
You know, he's an accomplished composer and slack key guitarist in his own right, you know.
Oh, Bill Leonard?
Yeah. You know, there's that Pipeline slack key. He wrote it.
Bill Leonard wrote that?
Yeah. And this is an awesome guy. He umpires.
And he writes slack key music.
And he writes Hawaiian music.
Great. Ground ball, bobbled by Craven. No play at second, goes to Viella in time to get Johnson. Craven was thinking double play when that ball was slapped at him He was able to knock it down and then go across to the yellow. That really was his only play.
And he makes the long throw for the third time tonight. All three of them have been a little bit up above the head of Johnny V.
The batter now is Mike Wood, the second baseman. He is 0 for 2. He flied out to Harrison in left field, and he grounded to Craven at third base. For over 45 years, Haleiwa Strain Point continues to be #1 with so many of Hawaii's people. Why, Tal and I were raised on Haleiwa Strain Point. That's a base hit to left. It may score a run. Charging is Harrison. Coming down the line is Burke. The throw to the plate is not in time. And diving into second base is Wood following the RBI single. Wood goes to second on the throw to the plate by Harrison. And you can see Kenny thought he had a chance as he charges, gloves, comes up. This really turns out to be a very close play.
Yeah, it does. Harrison got off a nice throw. I think people underestimate the strength of Kenny Harrison's throwing arm.
5th hit for Washington, 2nd hit of the inning. It is now 5-1 in favor of the Rainbows. We are in the top of the 7th inning with 2 down, and the batter is Kevin Stocker. And Stocker really shocked this ballpark on opening night. I mean, he was hitting everything and hitting it a long way. Since that time, he has fallen off, except there. He lashes one up the middle into center field for a base hit. Coming around third is Wood. The throw to the plate is close, but again late. And Stocker goes into second base. Deja vu. And it is now 5-2. So the question now becomes, Blanchette beginning to get the ball up and Washington beginning to lash at it. And they've been able to manufacture 2 runs here.
Well, Barry Cura begins to, or continues to loosen up in the pen. And you're absolutely right. Blanchette is getting the ball up in the strike zone. Both of those pitches have been up, and both of those pitches, the last 2 base hits, I mean, have been hit hard.
6 hits now for Washington, and Darren Doty will be the batter. That ball hit to left and foul. So it's 0-1. Shadows lengthening here as the sun starts to sink behind us. .95 pitches now for Billy Blanchette. Plate is inside. The pitch inside for a ball. That is an awful lot of pitches when you consider that this is the start of the season and Blanchette really not that much used as a pitcher. Ground ball. Right there is Craven. Long throw to Biella. That ends the inning. 2 runs on 3 base hits, 1 man left on. At the end of 6.5, it is 5-2 Bo.
I don't have any memories of what an old-fashioned patty melt should taste like because I never had one. Hey, I'm sorry. I was raised by wolves. I don't know. I just never tasted one, okay? Until now. At Jack in the Box. And I only got one thing to say.
Introducing the old-fashioned patty melt. A juicy burger with grilled onions, melting cheese, and bacon on grilled rye. At Jack in the Box.
Excuse me while I wolf this down.
Hey, Mike, your partner's here. The one who said we were just your size.
Yes. Now we want to expand.
And maybe buy a new computer?
We began thinking new decor.
But we scrapped the lobby idea.
For another workstation.
More light.
A new phone system.
And a new computer?
Well, I look at the numbers myself. Maybe at our next meeting, you can show me the final layouts on your new computer.
Central Pacific Bank. We put you first.
Excuse me, just one more thing.
Yeah, did you forget something?
You did say my new battery was a Napa battery.
You want the best, right?
Napa battery? I need to be sure. With a Napa warranty?
Yeah, Napa gives you a 6-year guarantee.
6 years?
That's right. This one will keep you running a long time.
Come on, honey, let's go.
When you need to be sure, Napa. We keep Hawaii on the move.
the whole world will be watching. Sylvester Stallone in Rocky IV. Tuesday at 8:05 on KHNL 13.
Rainbow logo on the fence here at Rainbow Stadium. 5-2 in favor of Hawaii. 5 runs, 7 hits for the Rainbows, 2 runs, 6 hits for Washington. Darren Moreland takes a strike. 0-1 for Darren Moreland, who has popped out, reached on a fielder's choice, and singled to left field. Scoops that one to the facade, and the count is 0-2. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Rainbows scoring 1 run in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 6th. Washington responding with 2 runs in the top half of the 7th. Moreland with the game-winning hit, a 2-run single in the bottom of the 9th last night. Todd Carson delivers. On-speed breaking ball up high, 1-2. Jody, Burke, and Noakes across the outfield from left to right. They are battling that sun now. Third baseman Turner in the shade. That's a base hit poked to right field by Moreland. 2nd hit of the game for Darren Moreland. And it is the 8th hit of the game for the Rainbow. Chris Duggar batting 1,000. He is 2 for 2 with a walk. He also has a stolen base. All this week on KHNL, the 407 7th MASH goes off the deep end, and Sidney, the psychiatrist, has his hands full. Join us for I Need a Shrink Week. I can relate to that on MASH all this week at 10:05 on KHNL 13. I like that. I Need a Shrink Week. Pitch to Duggar, runner going, and the pitch is hit to the net. Moreland will come back.
And that was a good piece of hitting by Darren Moreland as he drove that curveball to right field. He kept his left side closed and was able to see that ball in the outside corner. Good job.
So Duggar back in. Carson turned, throws to first, and back is Darren Moreland. Moreland sidestepping to his lead, but it is not a huge lead. Now takes another step. Still not a big lead. Now it is. Moreland does not go, and the pitch is popped again. Boy, we have seen that in the last two games. You know, I know what you're doing. You're over there looking for a question in case that ball goes up on the roof.
Yeah, well, you got to be prepared. Well, again, very uncharacteristic of the Rainbows not to be able to put a sacrifice bunt down.
No balls and 2 strikes to Duggar. 3 for 3 on the season. And a lob throw to first, which accomplishes nothing. At this point of the game, the lob throw is really excess baggage. 0-2 pitch, slapped that, and it ends up on the net. So the count remains no balls and 2 strikes to Chris Duggar. That's outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bottom of the 7th inning. A game that has seen Billy Blanchette make his first start. And Billy B going, if he comes out for the 8th inning, and I believe he will, with a 5-2 lead, that's the most that he has pitched as a Rainbow, and perhaps the most ever in his college career.
No, I think that latter statement is definitely true. Because up until last season, I don't think he actually pitched in a NCAA game at Pepperdine. And last year, I think he pitched a few innings, 4 or 5 maybe, something like that.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Duggar. Another check throw to first, and Moreland is back.
Well, Barry Curra was warming up. He's currently not. He's sitting there with a jacket on, and Roger Mills, a left-handed pitcher from Kamehameha, with a good curveball, is playing some soft toss on the side of the bullpen rubber.
Duggar lifts this ball foul and will end up on top of the batting cage. One and two. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Chris Duggar. Duggar getting his first start at second base. The Rainbows there have tried Chad Uehara and Franz Ewan. And they may settle on Duggar just by the way he's been able to hit the ball. He's 3 for 3. Another check throw to first, which brings up another one of the Jimmy rules that I propose to baseball, that you're allowed to throw to first base when there's a particular runner there only 3 times.
Well, can you imagine what if you did that?
If you throw over there, but if you throw over there 4 times, the runner is allowed to go off the base 20 feet. 5 times, 60 feet.
Can you imagine what an advantage to the base runner?
Take second base already.
Yeah. I mean, he could go halfway to take his lead.
That's right. And you can't touch him. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Duggar. The 2-2 pitch. That's low. Ball 3, 3-2.
You know, in the Washington bullpen now, a pitcher's warming up, and catching him is number 27. You see Coach McDonald signaling, hey, is the guy ready? And the return signal was yes. I guess he's telling him to get a little more heated up.
Runner going. The pitch is lifted to the roof. I turn to you and I say that's number 7 for the season. And I'm ready for the do you really care trivia question.
Which team entered the American League the same year as the Mariners?
The Royals.
No, it was the Blue Jays.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. I've missed 2 today. The Royals. It was the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays have been much more successful than the Mariners.
Well, anyway, in the bullpen, we hope we get a shot of this guy.
3-2 pitch. That's lifted to left field. Darren Doty dancing a bit, but he makes the catch, and returning to first base is Darren Moreland. 1 out in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Chris Duggar's flirtation with a 1,000 batting average season comes to an end.
Now, that young man's catcher, number 27, we saw pitch last night, Brandon Newell. And a kind of a fun story, and I want to thank my coaching compadre, Don Muramaro of Mid-Pacific, for calling me about that. But that young man there was a catcher on the area code team from the Seattle area. And we took up a Hawaii team, Dunn and my nephew Boy and I took a team up there with Lane Watanuki of Campbell as a coaching staff. And they had Seattle Mariners uniforms on.
That's an error on the catcher Johnson as he throws it into right field. Moreland will move up to second. That is the 3rd error on Washington. So Eric Johnson just taking this pitch and throwing it into right field. That goes right by Darryl Cloud.
Yeah, and it was a design play because he saw the pitch out and his footwork toward the pitch out just made a bad throw. But anyway, if I can finish my story, the Seattle Mariners lent them their uniforms, or their old uniforms, and that guy, Brandon Newell down there, had Ken Griffey Jr.'s uniform. After the last game, I offered him $200 cash right there for that uniform top, and he said no. Admirable, huh?
Well, I heard the story. And the story wasn't that he just said no. He said, you are one of those purveyors that prey on innocent young athletes just to get uniforms. I must return it to the Mariners. After all, they lent it to me.
I even asked the Mariners scout if I could buy it. He said no. The kid's uniform? Oh, my goodness.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Steve Otani, with Moreland on at second base. 1 out, and the Rainbows leading 5-2 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The area code games. When will they come up next?
You know what that is? It was this is the 4th year was in existence, and the previous 3 years it only had 4 teams or so from the California area, and now these went all over. The area code games, yeah, it sounds, but it's a great thing because you get all these high school sophomores, juniors, and even some seniors play before a packed house of college scouts, college recruiters, and Major League scouts. And so the games go on for about 4 or 5 days. And
you don't have 808 across the front of the uni.
No, but it did on our T-shirts. But no, we had the Houston Astros uniforms.
Well, how did you do?
We tied for first with 3-1 record.
Not bad.
Yeah, we were 3-0 going into the last game, and the 415 team beat us. Of course, that's a Northern California area code.
415 beat 808, huh?
But Frank Hekmovich, a scout with the Minnesota Twins, and his assistant and good friend Bert Fujimori put this whole thing together for all these young athletes. 21 players from Hawaii went up and represented the state very well in this that series.
Two-2 pitch to Ohtani. Lifted, drifting, and it will end up in the second deck. That may be the thrill of a lifetime. Two balls and 2 strikes. Pitch by Carson. Ball, strike 3. Ohtani is a victim of the strikeout by Carson. That's his 3rd strikeout since coming on in relief.
I'm sorry, Jim, it's his 2nd, 3rd overall.
Oh, 2nd strikeout, 3rd overall for Washington pitching.
I misled you.
I had it right all the time.
Yes, you did.
Batter is Scott Craven with 2 downs here, 2 down in the 7th inning. Pitch is up high, 1 ball and no strike. Well, it's getting to that time of the afternoon where lights, at least starting to think about turning on the lights here, because it's getting difficult to pick up the ball. Craven muscles that ball into left field. Moreland chugs around 3rd, and he will score. That's the 2nd base hit for Scott Craven. And it is the first run batted in on this series and the season for Craven. The ball had just enough on it.
Now you see the swing's a little bit shorter. The arc of the bat's, you know, he swings up a little too much. But yeah, you're right. You called that very well, by the way. It muscled the ball. He got jammed a little bit. Nice diving attempt by Stocker, the shortstop. This has been a long inning, and Billy Blanchette now is sitting in that dugout, and if he comes out to the mound, he's gonna, you know, he's gonna be a little bit cold, a little bit tired, and we'll see how he does, if in fact he does make an appearance for the 7th inning. Sorry, for the 8th inning.
Dwayne Daughtry, the batter. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Pitch by Carson way outside. 1-1. 2 outs, and the Rainbows have scored again. They lead 6-2 over Washington. Bounds away from Johnson. There will be no throw to second base. Wild pitch. So Scott Craven now in scoring position at second base. You take another look at this wild pitch. And Carson is having all kinds of problems. I mean, it has just come apart for him.
Well, good job of base running, too, by Scott Craven as the ball just trickled away from the catcher, Johnson. He immediately went on to second base.
The 2-1 pitch. That is backhanded by Cloud at first. He throws to Carson covering, and the inning comes to an end. 1 run on 2 hits and 1 man left on. We've played through 7. It is 6-2 Hawaii.
No
but he has the movie I want.
Hey, if it's on video, Blockbuster probably has it. Our superstores have over 10,000 videos.
Wow.
I'll watch these fast and have them back tomorrow, I promise.
Relax. At Blockbuster, you can keep your videos for 3 evenings, so take home plenty. And use our 24-hour quick drop.
Do you have any children's videos?
Sure. Blockbuster is America's family video store. You know, we have more quality kids' videos than any place else. More movies, more nights, more fun.
Blockbuster Video. Wow, what a difference.
It's the girl from Dial. Dial Rent to Own. Got a sofa that's old and uncomfortable? Call the girl from Dial. She'll deliver a brand new living room set to your home today. Has your old TV developed a mind of its own? Call the girl from Dial. She's got the TV you've always wanted. Rent to own quality brand name products with no long-term obligation, no credit checks, never any hassle, and free delivery. Call the girl from Dial on the Dial hotline, 456-RENT.
Charles Grodin.
You don't look much like a criminal.
A white-collar criminal. The mob wants him dead. The FBI wants him alive. And Robert De Niro.
Your bail bondsman hired me to bring you back, and that's what I'm doing.
Just wants him to shut up.
Come on. Cigarettes are killers. This is my room, and that's your room. Good night.
From the director of Beverly Hills Cop.
Glad to see me. This is not good.
Robert De Niro and Charles Grodin. Midnight Run.
Wednesday on KHNL 13.
One thing about being a bird is that you can go pretty much anywhere without paying admission. It's one of the things that, it's one of the bennies. There you see the state bird. Many people think that construction crane used to be the state bird. I don't know if they say that anymore. Be that as it may, we go to the 8th inning, 6-2 Rainbows, and Billy B still around. Brent Lutz takes the first pitch, drills it at Craven, and Craven throws him out. This week on the Arsenio Hall Show, party with Will Smith, Sandra Bernhard, Jamie Lee Curtis, Magic Johnson. Ooh, I wonder if Magic can make it. He was injured today. Harry Hamlin, Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, and Sting, just to name a few. Arsenio Hall Show, it's the best late-night party in town right here on KHNL 13. Lutz really ripped that ball off of Blanchett, but Craven was there at third to smother him. David Noakes takes a strike, and it's 1-1.
He's thrown a lot of off-speed pitches, a lot of changeups and curveballs.
There's an off-speed pitch lifted to the roof. And we're ready with another trivia question, of which do you really care?
What year did the Pirates host the first night game in World Series history?
1842, right before the...
No, if you think about the Pirates now, the Pirates. When did they win? You remember that one? They won We Are Family and all that. That was
73?
No.
72, 71?
Well, it's 71. There 71. You got it.
Yeah,
hey.
I do. I get it. Noakes strikes out, by the way, while we were discussing trivia. And Darrell Cloud is now the batter with 2 outs in the 8th inning. And Billy Blanchett continues to pitch for the Rainbows. 1 ball and no strikes. Rainbows 6 runs on 9 hits. Washington 2 runs on 6 hits. Two and done. Fly ball to left field and deep. Retreating is Harris. And Harrison able to make the catch for the out. So Billy Blanchett gets Washington in order in the top half of the 8th inning. And Billy B now going for a complete game victory. That's amazing. 6-2 Bo.
You know quality when you see it, and with Pirelli, you can feel the quality. That's why Pirelli is the original equipment on the world's finest. The P5 is known for its low noise level. The P6 and P600 are found in over 40 models of cars, including BMW, Saab, and Volkswagen. And Pirelli's ultra-high performance tire, based on extensive experience in Formula One racing, is the P700Z. Pirelli, at your Consumer Tire Auto Center.
There's a secret to being a good pediatrician. You care for the children as if they were your own.
August 13th, 1986, a Pearl City man accidentally pounds his television remote to pieces while doing some much-needed home improvement. Could this tragic twist mean the end of civilization as we know it? Fortunately, his television set was tuned to KHNL, leaving very little room for improvement.
It was the luckiest day of my life.
Hawaii's very own KHNL 13. Tune in once, and you're all set.
Tonight, welcome to Homie Cheese.
Well, kick a big kid, unless he get on my damn nerves.
You'll sing songs.
Happy birthday to you. Okay, that's enough.
And play games.
It's called solitaire. Confinement.
In living color. Catch an all-new episode tonight.
Eric Morrow has come on to pitch for Washington here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. He is making his second appearance in the series. He pitched 2 innings on opening night, gave up no runs on 1 hit, walked 1, and he struck out none. Leading off for the Rainbows will be number 25, and that is Kevin Curtis. Curtis, a catcher, first baseman, 6'1", 213, freshman from Upland, California. Curtis was a pinch hitter, was announced as a pinch hitter in the second game, and then they went into a chess match, changed pitchers around, and he never really got into the game. So here he steps to the plate, and the 0-1 pitch outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Been to Westport recently. They keep growing and growing. They've doubled in size and tripled in inventory. Baseball and softball uniforms in stock for immediate delivery, and the largest selection of top-of-the-line gloves, bats, and batting gloves. Westport in Waipahu, the best baseball store around. Curtis lifts it to right center field. John Burke able to run it down for out number 1. And that will bring up Todd Takayoshi, who has scored a run, stolen 2 bases. He has walked twice. 0 for 2 for the game. By the way, Westport is now open 7 days a week and until 8 p.m. on weekdays. That's Westport in Waipahu. 0-1 the count to Takayoshi. Did he go?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. 0-2.
We'll get a look at this here, and I see how the fat part of the bat comes way across. Nice attempt, though, by Snack to bring the bat back.
The 0-2 pitch. Lined into left field past the shortstop Stocker. And so Takayoshi able to get a base hit in this game. That is his 6th hit in this series. That is the 10th hit for the Rainbows. Bows leading 6-2. We are in the bottom half of the 8th inning, and John Biella will be the batter. Biella has been hit by a pitch. He sacrificed, able to fly out and ground out. Takayoshi on at first base. Another check throw, and Takayoshi is back. That's over. 0-2 to Big John here in the 8th inning. Very mellow crowd, as we mentioned this afternoon. Next week, Brigham Young comes into Rainbow Stadium for a 4-game set. Hope you can make your plans to be with us for that big rivalry, Brigham Young and Hawaii. If you cannot get to the ballpark, we will have all 4 games for you live right here on KHNL. And we will also have the basketball road trip for you. Ground ball dribbling. It is a diving stop by Mike Wood, but there will be no throw, and that will go as a base hit for Viela.
It's a nice play by the second baseman, Mike Wood. Ranges well to his left, dives, makes a stop, but Viela now safe at first base easily.
2 hits in the inning. The Rainbows now have 11 hits. And we have a pinch hitter now. Tim Albert has come in here in the 8th inning to pinch hit for Kenny Harrison. Albert 1 for 4 in the series. He was 0 for 1 last night. He appeared as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning. 6'1" senior, he too from Upland, California. All in 1 the count. Throw to second. They may have Takayoshi. They do. Takayoshi started to go toward third base, at least take some steps there. And Stocker was able to sneak in behind him. And that they got.
Well, that's one of the dangers of using this kind of base running technique, is when you do make the starts that the shortstop isn't that close, like Stocker was to Takayoshi then.
2 outs. That finds the roof. That is number what? 8?
Number 9.
Number 9, excuse me.
Number 9. You ready?
Yeah.
Name the only 2 teams in in Major League Baseball and professional football.
You're all choked up about
that have had the same names.
The only 2 teams in professional baseball and football.
Major League Baseball and professional football that have had the same names.
Cardinals.
From?
St. Louis.
Yeah. It's kind of an easy one, actually.
Cardinals from St. Louis, and the well, you know, you go back to the 40s, there was the Brooklyn Dodgers in football.
You know, I did doubt this question because the Brooklyn Dodgers wasn't with both of them, right? They were a professional football and Major League Baseball.
But that was
I did think that, honestly. But that's not the one that's written here.
Oh, thanks. Well, go ahead. Tell me.
Well, how about Mick? How about Willie? How about Willie? Willie Mays?
Oh, no, that's a team.
Yeah.
The Giants, New York Giants. Yeah.
And Hostetler, you know?
That's right.
A household word now, Jeff, huh?
It's been a long day. I did not perform well today at all, did I? In the trivia.
No, but you came close, and it counts in trivia, you know, when you come close.
2 balls and 2 strikes. The count now to Tim Albert. Rainbows leading 6-2 in the bottom of the 8th inning. John Viela on at first base with 2 outs. And Eric Morrow set at the belt. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. Viela will stop at second base. Albert contributes a base hit. Third hit of the inning off of Morrow. And it is the 12th hit for the Rainbows in this game.
Well, Tim Albert has got a lot of ability. We've discussed how he can throw and how he can run. And the weak part of his game is his ability to swing the bat. So if he becomes consistent with the bat, I mean, he could really help the Rainbows on a daily basis in the outfield.
So Darren Moreland will be the batter. And we have a visitation by Ken Knutson. Knutson is the pitching coach for Washington, and he is out talking to Eric Morrow. 1,697 in the park for this Sunday afternoon affair. We are in the bottom half of the 8th inning, 2 on, 2 outs. Rainbows enjoying a 4-run lead. Moreland is 2 for 4 in this game. He has scored 2 runs. Pitch to him on the inside corner for a strike, 0-1.
The Hawaii outfield is so deep that we may be seeing all year what we're seeing now, and that is all of them play out there.
But not at one time.
Yeah. Of course, Harrison, Moreland, and Daughtry are out there to start the game. Then you have Harold Kabab, Tim Albert. You also have Billy that can play some outfield. Larry Barigside.
Two and 1 the count. But the best in any catered affair depend on Marion's. Marion's Catering takes all the hassle out and helps you plan that special menu. They specialize in Japanese, Hawaiian, international cuisines, and other island favorites. Marion's Catering, 621-6758. 621-6758. Backhanded nicely by Stocker. He throws to the third baseman Turner for the force play on John Biela. And the bottom half of the 8th inning is now in the book. We go to the 9th. Rainbows leading 6-2.
My husband's Yakudoshi is coming up, and I'm not sure how to plan the party.
Well, here's something that'll help. It's called Hawaii's Yakudoshi Guidebook. It's informative and very entertaining. It tells you how to throw a Hawaii-style Yakudoshi party, preparing the decorations, what to wear, food to serve, and even tasty good luck recipes.
This is just what I need. Where can I get one?
At Times Supermarket. They also make a great gift idea. Hawaii's Yakudoshi Guidebook. Get your copy now at all Times locations.
Hale Halavai is Kailua Kona's community center. When the county decided it was time to make it more secure for the families, friends, and groups who've been using it for years, the Kona unit of the Hawaii Carpenters Union volunteered to do the job. It's a cleaner, safer place now, thanks to Big Island merchants who contributed materials and equipment, and the community spirit of the Union Carpenters in Kona. Mahalo, gang.
Building a better Hawaii for folks like you and me.
From the gates of hell comes the ultimate evil.
Who are you?
The devil.
A demonic power terrorizes a peaceful planet.
These people are all convinced that their world is coming to an end.
And a deadly game of seduction could steal Picard's soul.
I can do anything for you, Captain.
Your life is in danger here.
Enterprise, come in.
Your ship is gone, Captain.
Duel with the Devil on an all-new episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Tuesday night at 7 on KHNL 13.
For the first time on television, Michael J. Fox, The Secret of My Success.
Monday at 8:05 on KHNL 13.
Dwayne Daughtry has moved from right field to left field, and Tim Albert is now playing right field for the Rainbows. Leading off in the 9th is Todd Turner, and the first pitch to him from Billy Blanchett, 1 ball and no strikes. Billy V, who is expected to go perhaps 4, maybe 5. He's now trying for a complete game victory. And he gets it over for a strike, 1-1. This is an amazing accomplishment for Billy Blanchett.
It sure is, and he's out there on savvy now. He's not throwing hard at all.
Ground ball, base hit, right field. So Turner gets his second hit. It is the 7th off of Billy Blanchett. Washington now 2 runs on 7 hits. 3 errors have hurt them. Rainbows have 6 runs on 12 hits. And the batter will be John Burke, and Burke is 2 for 2 with a walk. And here comes Carl Furatani.
You know, I really must question the wisdom of having your starting pitchers go as far as they've gone on just 3 weeks of practice.
And I agree. So Furatani comes out, and that will be it for Blanchett. The question here is to have Blanchett go this far. This is a long way to go for a young man who has not pitched that much at all. But he carries the Rainbows into the 9th inning. We shall take a break.
day, more and more people are getting together over an ice-cold Bud Light.
Well, you can taste it, you can feel it, you know you got it right. 'Cause everything else is just a lie. Just keep your Bud Light shining. Just a light. Shine on.
Things aren't always the way we'd like them to be. Hostile acts in faraway countries can dramatically change things here in Hawaii, like the price we pay for oil. Make no mistake, we're oil dependent. No matter what the price, we must pay it, or we don't get the oil. Or we can actively develop alternate energy sources. Maybe then, we'll never have to be afraid of the dark.
Barry Curra has come on in the 9th inning. Curra from Bellevue, Washington, another Northwesterner. Curra last year was 3-0, 17 innings pitched. And Curra gave up a total of 13 earned runs, 21 hits. There you see his other totals: 9 walks, 5 strikeouts, earned run average of 6.75. We like to call him the Kid because of his youthful appearance. Curra comes on to mop up, so to speak, for Billy Blanchette. Take the Rainbows home in the 9th inning. Blanchette going 8+ innings, giving up 2 runs on 7 hits. So Billy B will sit and watch now in the 9th with Todd Turner on at first base and John Burke, the batter. Curra, the left-hander, working for the first time this season. There's a strike. Rainbows in at double play depth here in the top half of the 9th inning. That pitch misses outside, 1-1. Our Midas touch inning will be played beginning next week when the Rainbows take on Brigham Young. Be sure to enter at your nearby Midas location. And while you're there, check out the February special. That ball comes back to the net, and it's 1-2. 50% off the second shot or strut. And if you buy 3, you get a 4th one free. Check this copy of this week's Midweek magazine for Midas coupons good for Midas gold mufflers, oil changes, and 2 wheel alignments. All specials this month through February at Midas. That's the first strikeout for Curra. Good pitch that time, off-speed breaking ball. And the batter will be Eric Johnson with 1 out in the 9th. And a runner at first base in Todd Turner. And we may have a pinch hitter, and we will. It'll be number 27, and that's
Brandon Newell.
Brandon Newell.
That's our guy.
So Newell will come in to pinch hit. Newell 1 for 4 in the series. He was 1 for 4 last night. Did not play in the opener and appears here as the pinch hitter. Newell lifts a fly ball to right field. Calling for it is Tim Albert, and he makes the catch for out number 2. Washington came in and appeared to be a very powerful, well-tuned ball club. And they were able to beat the Rainbows 8-5 on Friday night in the opener. Then last night, the 2 teams evened out. The Rainbows able to come back in the bottom of the 9th to win it 6-5. But it has been all Rainbows today. Washington has been on the descendancy then in this series, and the Rainbows actually have been on the ascendancy. 0-1 the count to number 23, Mike Wood, the second baseman. 2 outs in the 9th. One ball and 1 strike. Next week, remember, Brigham Young in baseball. A 4-game series live from Rainbow Stadium. And on Thursday and Saturday, we'll have Rainbow basketball for you. Rainbows at Utah on Thursday. The Rainbows at Brigham Young on Saturday. The 1-1 pitch. And hitting the batter is Curra. Wood will get the free pass. Turner moves up to second. And we go to the top of the order to Kevin Stocker.
Yeah, that just glances off that left thigh. Now, I had heard from the players that Curra really wasn't pitching as consistently as he was, during parts of the season last year.
Stocker is 1 for 4 in this game, and the pitch to him. 1 ball and no strikes. That just missed on the inside. Stocker has grounded out twice. He has flied out once. He is 3 for 14 now for the series. Takes a strike on the inside, corner 1-1. 2 out, 2 on in the ninth. Rainbows with a comfortable 4-run lead. So the kid ready to throw here. The 1-1 pitch. There's that off speed. 2-1. Two balls and 1 strike. Turner at second and Wood at first. That's a strike. 2-2. Stocker trying to work Curra, perhaps for a walk to load the bases. That would give Doty a chance. Tying run would then come to the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Curra trying to end it right here. The 2-2 pitch to Stocker. Swung on, ground ball to the shortstop Ohtani. He will go the short way. No, he goes the long way, and he throws it over the head of Villela. Coming in to score will be Turner. Duggar may have gotten to second a little late to suit Ohtani. He tried to change his mind in the middle, and he ended up throwing the ball away. That is an error for the Rainbows. First error of the game, and also being allowed to come in to score is Wood, or is he? I believe he'll be.
Now he has to go to third base because of the originating pitch. He was on first. And I think you're exactly right, Jim. I don't think Duggar got to second base in enough time. Maybe he wasn't playing as close to the bag as he should have in that double play, or in that potential play at second base.
So we may have a pinch hitter coming for Darren Doty to the plate. And it is Chris Belize. Belize making his first appearance. Belize, 6'1" sophomore from Woodinville, Washington. And he comes on with the score now 6-3 in favor of the Rainbows. Wood is at third and Stocker at second. Curra delivers. And run, by the way, charged to Blanchette.
And there you see Greg Nealon warming up for Hawaii. They still have Brandon Goda available, as well as possibly Craig Tucker.
One ball and no strikes. 2 down. Washington not rolling over easy in the 9th inning. That's high. 2-0. Rainbows had visions of this game being over, especially on the ground ball to Ohtani. And he is bothered by that right now. That's for sure. 2-0 pitch. Ground ball to the third baseman, Craven. He finally ends it as he throws to Villela. And the Rainbows take 2 out of 3 from Washington. The final 6-3. And Billy Blanchette is our GTE Hawaiian Tel Player of the Game. Blanchett enters this game little used as a pitcher, and he takes it all the way into the 9th inning. He was effective with the way he threw the ball, using fastballs which weren't really that quick, but he was able to complement that with the off-speed breaking ball and the changeups, and he was able to maneuver through the lineup of Washington. So this series comes to an end with the Rainbows up 2-1 over Washington. The final 6-3, and Billy Blanchett getting his first win as a Rainbow pitcher. Stay tuned now for Fox's Super Sunday lineup, beginning with True Colors. That's followed by Parker Lewis, Can't Lose, and then it's In Living Color. Plan to be with us Thursday beginning at 4:30 in the afternoon for a Rainbow basketball and baseball doubleheader. KHNL will cover live from the Huntsman Center in Salt Lake City the rematch between Hawaii and Utah. If you remember earlier this year, it was the Utes who defeated the Bows in overtime at Blaisdell Arena. And then at 7, we'll be back at Rainbow Stadium for more baseball as Hawaii takes on one of the toughest teams in the WAC, Brigham Young. Until then, for our KHNL broadcast crew, for Pal Eldridge, this is Jim Leahy wishing you the best from Aloha Stadium. The final score, 6-3 in favor of Hawaii over Washington, and the Rainbows take the 3-game series 2-1. This has been another live sports presentation of Hawaii's very own KHNL Channel 13. Pray that the war ends soon.
This KHNL sports presentation is sponsored by Budweiser. Hawaii, this Bud's for you. Services have been provided by the following in exchange for promotional consideration. Torrey Richard, Cook Street, Diamond Head Ice, and the Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Hawaii. This has been a presentation of Hawaii's very own KHNL, Channel 13.
So, Delima, what are we going to eat today? Well, we could go to KC Drive-In for Waffle Hot Dog and Ono Ono Shake, or we could go Wisteria for Oxtail Soup, or we could go to KC Drive-In for Wonton Min, but then we could go to Wisteria for some real sushi. But on the other hand, we could go to KC Drive-In for the best combination plate in town, but then Wisteria get the best combination plate in town. I am so confused. KC Drive-In and Wisteria, 2 great restaurants, open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
From Fox News, this is a Mideast update.